Alrighty then. Hello everyone! My name is Caden, and welcome back to more Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. Last time, we went ahead and started this game, completing the entirety of the first trial, and I thought it was pretty nice. I liked it. It's interesting having, using magic with this kind of gameplay style, but I like it. I mean, let's be real, there's already plenty of, let's go with supernatural things going on in the Ace Attorney series as it is, so maybe this is just the logical evolution. I don't know. Anyways, we're on to episode 2. Ew. So, we're in the Imperial Academy kitchen. Let's begin. Load save data. Let's do it.
How are we going to get out of all of this? Wait, how are we going to get all of this out on time?
The myriad of empty plates laid around the kitchen filled Valerie with dread. It was almost time for breakfast, and soon the students would be upon them. I assume, yeah, my stuff's been removed here. My personal bodyguard, she accompanies everywhere to keep me safe. She's energetic and is really competitive. She seems to have an abnormally high strength despite her small figure. She's an adept fighter and has saved my life on multiple occasions. So it seems like we're definitely a bit of an advance in time at this point. A little bit of an advance, because now her occupation is no longer mercenary, it's bodyguard. We don't have any spells to look at it right now, but sure that'll change it soon. Whoa. Valentina quickly passed by her sister as she snatched a tray off the counter. We're going to be defending one of these two, I feel, and the other's going to be the killer. She was jumping between multiple stations, but even then, each movement she made was quick and purposeful. The kitchen was a machine. Valentina just had to turn each gear single-handedly. Yeah, I feel like one of these two is going to be the killer, and we're going to have to press the other. But in her hands, it ran like clockwork. Most of the time. Is there any kind of visual difference that I should take note of for if I have to differentiate between these two? The only thing that jumps out to me is their eyes. The one on the left has more like, I don't even know how to describe eyes, but they're more like pointed, I feel. While the girl on the right's eyes are more like round looking. Though that could just be because of the expression they're wearing right now.
Val, are you finished playing the Spoke 7? Right, sorry.
Valerie stared at the excess assortment of food they had prepared for the noble children. She could only remember the years she and her sister had spent starving in an orphanage.
Are they even going to eat all this?
They're kitchen staff, age 19, and no arcane arts.
They won't. They'll taste a few of them and throw the rest out. It still has to be perfect when it hits the cafeteria. Okay.
Valerie watched as her sister lifted each of the croissant slices, measuring their width against her index finger.
These slices are too thick. It's going to overpower the salmon. Does that really matter? I thought they really liked your croissants. Trust me, if the ratio's off, they will make sure we know. Some of these kids would have us executed for bad plating if they could.
Before Valerie could respond, one of the kitchen timers went off. Valentina quickly rushed to the stove and began melting butter in a pot.
About that, one of House Freya's attendants came by earlier.
Valentina barely glanced away from the pot as she poured a bowl of eggs into it and began beating them. Her face tightened at the mention of Lady Freya. Her whisk moved slightly more violently.
What does Miriam want now? She's asking for roasted peacock. For breakfast? She also wants honey-lacquered brioche bread topped with Arcane whipped cream and Ixiom strawberries. And it gets even better! Just grab me the normal stuff from the pantry when you can. You know that spoiled brat can't tell the difference. Here, stir these eggs for me.
Valentina handed her sister the pot of scrambled eggs. Valerie's shoulders tensed. Okay, now I'm starting to get a different feeling. I don't think it's going to be that one of them's going to murder and one's going to be the murderer and one's going to be the suspect. It's going to be that one of them gets murdered and the other is going to be the suspect, isn't it? And it's going to be like one of these noble kids or noble parents that probably killed him. She was great with a knife, but her forays with the stove never ended well.
What? But... The stove's on low heat. Just keep stirring. Okay.
Valentina's mind was already on the next task. She entered the freezer and dragged out a butchered peacock. Luckily, they just received the meat shipment that morning. It hadn't fully frozen yet. She quickly tossed it into the counter and began weaving cooking twine around its legs.
Skilled lord, these kids have no idea how good they have it.
Valentina Ionis was the Imperial Academy's head chef, and patissier, brewer, butcher, and saucier. The staff that used to fulfill each of those roles were let go one by one, the work of Professor Bellwether and her disdain for the commoners. At first, the twins had welcomed the chance to cook for the children of nobles. The pay was astounding. But it wasn't long before they discovered why this kitchen had seen such a rapid turnover.
Hey, you two. How's breakfast going?
The Academy's custodian trudged into the kitchen. His posture was heavy, and his eyes were half dead.
Same as usual, Jan. How about you?
Same as usual.
Yeah?
Valentina recalled the many times she caught Jan napping in the pantry.
Oh, Jan, I packed some of last night's risotto on the counter. Val, the eggs! Oh, right.
Valentina grimaced as she looked over the pot of eggs. The liquid was no longer emulsified. It was still edible, but it wasn't perfect, something below the Imperial Academy's self-imposed standards.
Val, come on, I have to start over now. I only left them for a second.
You two look busy. I'll just...
I'm sorry.
Valentina pressed her hands together, closed her eyes, and took a deep breath.
It's fine. Just help me prep the next batch while I grab the ingredients for Miriam's food. Okay, I'll... Oh, God.
Valentina saw her sister tense up. What was it now?
Catherine's coming. She doesn't look happy. Are you serious? What's that pressy little... hello, Miss Bellwether.
Professor Bellwether?
What can I do for you today, Professor?
Can't explain what this is. The professor presented Valentina with the eggs Benedict she'd personally prepared earlier. It looked perfect. It was exactly what she asked for, too.
I'm sorry, is there something wrong with your breakfast?
These eggs are machine undercooked. There's no crisp to them at all.
Those are poached eggs, Professor.
Poached?
You know, when you boil eggs in a pot of simmering water and boiled.
Do you think this is whatever shelter Redmond plucked you out of?
I won't swallow another piece of this rustic grime. I expect a meal befitting of the Imperial Academy.
Do it right this time.
Right away, Professor.
Valentina thought of slapping that snooty attitude right off her face. It would be easy. She could have done it right at that moment. What'd she have to lose? They were already planning on firing her anyway. Well, I feel like that'd get you killed. But she took a breath. Nothing was worth drawing the ire of Bellwether's friends on the school board.
Some professor who doesn't know what eggs Benedict is. Those stupid mages wouldn't know good food if it walked up to them and jumped down their throats.
Case 2. The Walking Dead. Oh boy. Oh, I didn't even think of that. If we're dealing with magic, what about necromancy spells? Is that a thing? I just realized how weird that could be. I'm sorry, Celeste, but there's nowhere left to go.
Wait, I think I have something.
Celeste's eyes dart around the chessboard, scanning for a way to escape my attack. Did I? Nope. Whoop. I could see her measuring every angle of retreat, but I'd been in this endgame plenty of times before. It was already over. Celeste, just surrender. She didn't respond. Her eyes continued to search for the exact piece she needed to move.
There, what about that?
I merely moved my knight to respond. Checkmate.
Damn it! Can I get a do-over?
Professionals don't get do-overs.
Would you two keep it down? We're in a library.
My mentor's eyes were fixed on the chessboard between Celeste and me. Soon they went straight to me. We were just taking a break. A pretty short break, from the looks of it.
Oh, so it's gonna be like that?
I suppose it's going to be like that. The Imperial Library was supposedly one of the largest in Wyverngard. I'd never seen so many books. I honestly felt quite at home here. There was no noise and everyone kept to themselves. Aside from a few dirty looks from nearly everyone here, I was free to do my research in peace. Something strange had happened during Celeste's trial last week. That final moment with Pierce had awakened something new in me. I used the Eye of Horus in a way that I'd never had before. I wasn't a mage. Miss Timora and I had confirmed as much when I failed to attune a blank spell compendium. Which meant I couldn't learn arcane magic, but my ability must have been closely related to it. So the question is, what exactly is the Eye of Horus? The Imperial Academy was a school for the most talented mages in Wyvergard. The library on campus supposedly held the kingdom's entire knowledge on magic. But with all the books I'd read, I still couldn't find a single mention of anything like the Eye of Horus. There weren't any arcane spells that could affect the mind, and everything I'd read today had just confirmed that. It was certainly an interesting ability. If you didn't see, the Eye of Horus... normally the Eye of Horus just lets us read a person's kind of like emotions and thoughts in a moment. However, at the end of the trial, we were able to learn, and we unlocked a new ability where we could kind of imprint an item onto a person's mind and make them think of it. We did that with the Pierce guy. I think that was his name, Pierce. And it made him think about the bottle, which let us get enough information to know that it was the bottle he exploded. It was tea. But why did it suddenly appear? Why did we suddenly gain a new ability with the Eye of Horus?
With all its resources, the kingdom has to have seen something like this.
Is the Eye... You know, we've talked all about this Eye of Horus and used it. What is it? What does it look like, though? We don't even, we haven't actually seen a physical object for the Eye of Horus, I don't think.
Are they hiding that information, even from the nobility?
Are you sure you can't tell me what you're looking for?
I've seen a lot when I was traveling outside Wyverngard. Maybe I can help.
Celeste had a point, but Miss Timora didn't completely get along with her. I'm sure she'd have objections, and even if she didn't, my mentor had always been wary about letting people know about my Eye of Horus. It was a magical ability that didn't follow the rules of arcane magic. The biggest advantage of the Eye of Horus was that no one ever knew about it. If we started telling people about it, we would kind of lose that advantage, would we? Sorry, I can't.
Fine. Aren't you supposed to be researching new spells?
Oh, I'm almost finished.
Already? You should really challenge yourself more, McCoy.
Whatever, Ruby. Now, why don't you tell me what you're looking for?
Whoa.
He must be researching non-arcane magic.
Oh my god, we're under attack.
Maybe we are. That was kind of creepy. We nearly jumped out of our chairs at as that girl appeared next to us. I even saw Celeste's hand twitch towards her sword. Please do not kill her. The girl must have been a student at the academy, but she didn't dress like the aristocrats here. Her expression was kind, but also blank in a way. It was impossible to read. There was something ethereal to her demeanor. It felt like I was speaking with a ghost. How long had she been standing there? I hadn't noticed her at all. She looks oddly familiar, too. Wait! We saw something weird a while ago. I think it was before we even started doing the first trial. There was a dream that Tyrion had, and there was a woman. Is this her? Is it you?
I should apologize, but I overheard your conversation.
Whoa. As she approached her table, another student followed behind her. His eyes darted to each person at the table like a rodent appraising every thread in the room. In contrast to the girl, he was as tightly wound as a violin. It looked like even the slightest sign of danger would send him scurrying away.
Eris, you really shouldn't... I'm so sorry. Maybe if I apologize, they won't have us executed.
Huh?
It's fine, Wallace. Who are you two? That was incredibly rude of me. Most everyone here calls me Eris Illmatter.
Eris Illmatter? Whoa! Okay. I saw that. I could not read it, but I saw it. It is her. She's the girl we saw in the dream. I suddenly feel like we're in grave danger with her being around. Oh no. A mysterious and almost ethereal girl. It's hard to read what she's really thinking. I'm guilty to admit it, but I always feel a sense of dread whenever I'm around her. She seems nice. However, I just need to do a better job of checking my preconceptions. I don't trust you.
This is Wallace Nightgrave. We're both students here.
Hi.
Wallace Nightgrave. I was pausing to see if it would glitch out like it did with her. I had to see. A student at the Wyvern Guard Imperial Academy. He's extremely anxious and looks ready to flee at any moment's notice. He's very secretive about the type of magic he studies.
That was a private conversation, by the way.
Illusion magic. Nothing new appears in here, or different appears in here.
Researching unconventional forms of magic is actually a hobby of mine. I might be able to help you with your research, Mr. Cuthbert. And what makes you so sure that that is what we're researching? Your protege has had a bad habit of muttering to himself when he thinks. I assume this research had...
Stop it! No! I don't like you! Go away! No! Every time you talk, there's a chance it glitches! I see something evil! You scared me! Who are you? I felt a piercing side glance from Miss Timora. I just pretended not to notice it. Timora, help me! But anyways, I'd really appreciate your help. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Of course, I'd be happy to help.
Wait, stop! Why is it affecting others now? Why? What's happening? Now the glitch happened over Ruby.
Fine, I suppose it wouldn't hurt. Just be more careful, Tyrion.
Right. Let me move. The library was full of books. I've been reading through them all morning. Globe. It's the globe of the world. It's amazing how many other nations there are aside from Wyvern Guard.
I've been to most of these places. You should come with me next time, Tyrion.
That was a nice thought. Maybe I could find some time to travel with her. It was a holy text of some sort. Must have been related to the Church of Bahamut. There was a newsletter taped to one of the shelves. Due to several instances of crude misuse, arcane construct voice lines can now only be set by Headmaster Redmond. Curious, I guess? Oh. There's a table for students to sit at. I've been here with Celeste all morning. I present. Be back, demon!
Seriously, you're showing me the badge now.
Badge? It's an attorney's runestone.
We're really threading the line, aren't we? Aren't you going to make a habit of showing this thing to everyone you meet?
You know damn well I am. I just think it's neat. Look at me. What do you think about this, Eris?
You're already resorting to presenting me things. We've only just started. I really think you're overthinking things.
What?
Or do you simply want to see all the unique things I have to say?
Why do you know the fourth wall?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not some script for you to toy around with. Feel free to try again later, though.
I didn't like that. You scare me, girl. I don't like that. This girl might be the main villain, I think. I think she's the main villain. Oh no. Look at yourself. Get me away from her. Oh god, I have to actually talk to you. Eris and Wallace. Are you two students at the Imperial Academy?
I'm currently taking classes for here for the illusion program.
Illusions? That's the kind of magic that lets you turn invisible, right?
Technically, yes. But few mages ever reach that level. I'm a bit sad to admit that I'm not able to cast that arcane spell.
That's still pretty cool. How about you, Wallace?
Wallace has a unique field of study. Please don't ask him about it.
Oh, okay.
I don't like you.
Rumors about you two have been floating around.
Really?
Many recognize you from the news articles about Mr. McCoy's trial.
Really?
The students were surprised to see you two on the academy grounds this morning.
Made sense. In some ways, the school was a cornerstone of the nobility's power. This was the last place anyone would expect us to take an interest in, much less be permitted to enter. Luckily, Miss Timora had a lot of connections she could pull on.
I'm particularly surprised that you're still in Wyvern Guard, Miss McCoy. I figured that the Crimson Demon would be off on another violent escapade.
Oh god, Papers found out about that?
The what? Crimson Demon?
Don't ask. Anyway, I'm working as Tyrion's personal mercenary now.
Mercenary? I prefer the term bodyguard. I successfully indicted Pierce in her trial, but that invited a lot of unwanted attention. It wasn't long before I found armed thugs, especially looming around my house. After what happened to Flintheart, Celeste wanted to stay closer to her mother. Steelwind even kept the teleportation circle from the investigation active for her. Miss Timora saw an opportunity to hire her as my bodyguard. I did get along really well with her, after all. It was nice to have someone to talk to while I was getting acquainted with being an attorney. It was also nice to have someone who could toss an armed thug with one arm. The unconventional magic.
Unconventional magic. One might wonder why you're researching such a thing.
I want to know that too.
I'm sorry, but I can't really say.
There are many spells in this world, and new ones are always being developed. What makes you so certain that this magic isn't arcane?
The magic I'm looking into doesn't follow the conventions of arcane magic.
Oh, how so?
Well, I need to tread carefully. Miss Timora's glare agreed. It was cast by someone who's not a mage.
Oh, really? That implies it was cast by a person, and it wasn't something like artificery.
I flashed an apologetic look to my mentor.
That does remind me of a story.
A story?
Mr. Cuthbert, are you familiar with the legends about how Wyvern Guard was created?
You mean the story about the ancient dragons? Ooh, dragons.
Dragons?
I knew you'd find the matter interesting.
Oh boy, here we go. Ancient dragons.
Are you talking about the stories told by the Church of Bahamut?
Technically, there's only ever mention of one ancient dragon, Rathalion, the Scaled Lord. Supposedly, the first mages were created centuries ago by him.
What? I never knew that.
Interesting. Oh, that's why the dragon symbol, or like the dragon statue's there. In the year 10 BSB, Wyverngar was a small kingdom caught between two warring nations, Ixia to the east and Lumina to the west. With no way to protect themselves, this kingdom was on the brink of destruction. Its people prayed to Bahamut, the god of dragons, for salvation. And almost as if to answer their praise, Rathalion, the last of the ancient dragons, appeared before them. He took pity on their plight and granted them the gift of magic. It was a weapon our greatest warriors wielded without equal. With arcane magic in hand, these warriors laid devastation upon our enemies. They didn't just stop the war, they joined the battle and single-handedly won it, taking large swaths of territory for themselves. With our nation protected by and our power made known, these warriors went on to form the noble houses of today. I see.
What a load of nonsense. That story is nothing but religious propaganda created to prop up the noble houses. Regardless, the significance of this legend is in the Scaled Lord himself.
Rathalion?
He bestowed the power to become a mage on several individuals. And to this day, that power can only be passed through bloodlines. Can you think of an arcane spell that would reproduce something like that?
No, I suppose not.
Rathalion had powers that weren't bound by the conventions of the arcane arts. In other words, he could use magic that was distinct from the magic of today. Please, do you honestly expect us to believe a story like that? It's completely unrealistic. As unrealistic as a non-mage using magic.
She had a point. It's the closest thing I had to a lead right now. Okay, no dialogue. I thought I skipped dialogue on accident. Of course it's you lot making all this noise, who? Oh, you. Well, the instructors of the academy appeared us disdainfully. She looks like a woman of the aristocracy. Every bit of her demeanor carried that, from the stiffness of her posture to the condescending grimace on her face. She glared at each of us like we were the most disgusting thing she'd ever seen in her life.
Professor Bellwether!
Catherine Bellwether, a professor who teaches magic at Wyvern Guard's Imperial Academy. She's quite abrasive to just about everyone. She seems to have a particular disdain for commoners.
That is Professor Bellwether to you. He just called you...
I knew letting you rabble into our walls would lead to nothing but trouble. You've even started associating with our malcontents. Wallace,
Yes,
how am I supposed to understand when you're stuttering?
yes, Professor Bellwether.
Straighten out your uniform and fix that awful hair. I know it's unreasonable to expect anything from you, but try not to look like such a street urchin.
Wallace shrank away from the professor. He acted like a scared and beaten animal. You're just a bitch, girl. I could see Celeste's fist start to clench, let loose. She looked like she was about to toss the professor across the room. Do it. I want to see it.
Throw.
I flashed her a look. Any trouble we cause would just make things worse for Eris and Wallace.
As for the rest of you, your rowdy behavior is disrupting the other students. Leave. Now. Oh, please. The headmaster gave us express permission to be here. That may be, but the school board is placing Pure Library under my jurisdiction. I can remove anyone who disrupts the studies of our prize students. Why would you have authority over the library? My
apologies, Professor. We'll try to keep our volume lower.
I don't believe I was talking to you, boy. Know your place.
Oh, Tyrion, please tell me you feel threatened so I can defend you.
I wanted to avoid a confrontation, but a part of me really wanted to see that. I do too!
If you refuse to leave, I'll have no choice but to remove you myself. I'll have you know that I'm the most accomplished mage here at this academy.
Trust me, you'll find spellcasting difficult while something's hitting you in the face.
Come at me, bitch! I'll wear you like a sweater! What does that mean? Don't skin her! You can beat the shit out of her, but don't skin her! I definitely caught hints of Flintheart in her thoughts every so often.
I don't have to stand for this. That goes like a rabid dog. It'd be best to keep my distance.
She's afraid! You should be!
I was just on my way to speak to the headmaster. He will be hearing of this.
Oh, you're going to tell on us? I'm so scared.
Celeste, you're a little scary.
Aw, thank you.
Anyway, Wallace, you finished this week's assignment, haven't you? Would you mind entertaining Celeste while I aid Mr. Cuthbert?
I don't know.
How you mention it, I could really use some help learning a new spell formula. You know your way around here, right, Wallace?
Okay.
I'll be discreet, Miss Timora.
Please do. I still have some business to take care of here. I'll leave you to it.
She's about to leave, but she stared at Eris warily. I don't trust this girl. Don't leave me alone with her, please.
Is something wrong, Ruby?
Her last name is Illmatter. What do you think could have happened? Ill tidings!
No, not at all.
Don't leave me alone with this woman! I spent the next few hours searching through the library's books with Eris. I hadn't thought to look into the ancient dragon. The library had religious texts about them in abundance. There was one problem, though. These texts read more like myths than real historical documents.
It can't be helped. The Church of Bahamut has far too much influence in Wyverngard. To them, history is a narrative to be embellished rather than something to be preserved. The bones of dragons are displayed in Wyverngard's museums. Without those, most would have no evidence that they even existed.
Except for Rathalion, possibly. According to these legends, dragons can't die of old age. Presumably, he'd still be alive. Interesting. Dragons can only die... So it sounds like dragons can only be killed by being killed. They can't just, like, die a natural old age death. They have to have something done to them.
I wouldn't be surprised. Despite everything, the kingdom includes him in our constitution.
Wait, really?
As the savior of our kingdom, he and his kin were given an honorary position in our kingdom. The skilled lord made Wyverngard what it is today. He was given authority that befits such a legacy.
How have I never heard this before? I've memorized all of Wyverngard's laws.
Practically speaking, it's never been invoked. It's merely a lost bond of reverent words to praise the skilled lord and appease the church.
I was so stuck in my own thoughts that I accidentally walked face first into a bookshelf. The shelf slowly began to tip, and I had to catch before it knocked over the other shelves like a set of dominoes. Several books fell out as I slowly set the shelf back in place. They hit the ground with a cacophony of thuds. Some students glanced over at me, annoyed by the noise. I really hope Bellwether wasn't around to see that.
Be quiet.
Who? I wasn't sure where the voice was coming from, but it sounded annoyed. Sorry.
Be quiet.
Eris giggled to herself as she watched me flounder around.
Hey, are you okay?
We heard a loud noise and... Oh. The two of them scanned over the pile of fallen books around me.
What'd you do?
That's not important. Can you help me clean this up?
There's no need for that. Wallace, can you call over the construct?
Why you always make me do it?
Please.
Construct, I require assistance.
Eh?
Whoa! Acknowledged.
What is that?
On Wallace's command, one of the nearby suits of armor suddenly sprang to life and marched toward us. That's sick! The voice coming from it sounded like a woman's, but it lacked any emotion. Oh.
Acknowledged.
I could have sworn I'd heard his voice before. Well, I thought those things were just decorative.
This is an arcane construct. It's a suit of armor brought to life using artificery. They're designed to carry out various tasks on campus.
Arcane constructs. Oh, these are going to be important, aren't they? Arcane constructs are suits of armor that are animated using artificery. They can carry out simple tasks when ordered to. The ones in the Imperial Academy speak using the voice of Catherine Bellwether. Oh, bleh. These voice lines can be changed or adjusted by the Academy headmaster. Every command given to a construct is stored in its command log. However, this command log must be cleared regularly.
Really? I didn't know artificery had come that far.
They're still experimental. They aren't available to the public yet. House Von Sanctus is using the Academy as a testing ground for them.
Contract, could you please put these books back where they belong?
Acknowledged. You're so polite to them. You know they're just machines, don't you?
They're really helpful. It just feels wrong to be rude to them.
Hey, he's not a bad kid. Let him go. The construct jumped straight into its task, its metallic hands moving with a quick yet delicate precision. It wasn't long before all the books were back exactly where they belonged.
How? So, they do whatever you tell them to do?
There are some limits to...
Construct, tell me I'm the fairest man you've ever seen.
Command rejected.
Aw, what?
I guess you're not able to lie. Damn!
Watch it, Cuthbert.
The construct's voice is an amalgam of pre-recorded phrases. I'm not sure if you noticed, but it uses the voice of Professor Bellwether.
I knew there was something wrong with it.
Unfortunately, you can't make them say anything other than basic responses. Only the headmaster can change those settings.
I heard of artificery recording audio, but to think they could process and respond to what I'm saying? I've never seen anything like it.
But you just said that they're experimental, right? Maybe I can find a way to trick into doing what I want.
I'd advise against that. We've had several instances of students using them to play pranks. Even if your commands are rejected, they're still stored in the construct's logs. And weren't you researching spells with Wallace?
Oh, that? I'm already done. I've just been reading Death and Daggerfall. Do you know they have an unpublished manuscript of the newest book?
Those books were apparently her favorite series of murder mysteries. She's been recommending them to me for the entire week. Let me get one. And by recommending, I meant she'd been leaving these books around my house. I think at one point she'd somehow snuck them into Miss Timora's office. I really got an earful from my mentor for that one. I didn't do anything! There's no possible way you're already done learning those new spells. We've only been here a few hours.
Yeah? You want to bet?
Sure, show me your spell compendium.
What? No! I can't tell me. I want it to be a surprise.
What a surprise. I didn't catch any lies to the Eye of Horus. Was she really telling the truth? I never actually knew the process for learning new spells. I just knew that it involved becoming familiar with unique spell formulas. She was fidgeting a lot when we were reading together this morning. She basically forced me into taking a break to play chess with her. If you were in that fiction section, did you get a chance to read Wraithbound?
This again?
It's a great series, Celeste. The best series I've ever read. Even after nearly a century, those books had aged like fine wine.
Look, Tyrion, I'm sorry, but I just can't get into it. The whole thing just feels so hammy and unrealistic.
Come on, it's a classic story of good versus evil. Corin Bloomvale's a literary genius. Maybe I need to start leaving my copies of Wraithbound in the McCoy Tavern.
Look, I'm just not into the fancy genre.
You...
Good. Those books are terrible anyway.
You son of a... What?
Skate Lord, did I say that out loud? I should get back to work. Let's go, Celeste.
Okay.
I liked him, and he's just like, what?
Now I know that sounds bad.
Doc. let's keep going, Eris. I had no intention of letting Celeste get ahead of me. I read more and more about the ancient dragons. I looked at anything I could get my hands on, historical accounts, religious texts, and even folk tales. But after finding the 12th and Bell story about a dragon fighting a knight, I was starting to lose hope. This most recent story was the worst. I read like the fantasy novels I usually read, but even I had a limit. At this point, I felt like one of those arcane contracts, hollowly reading out the words of yet another myth to myself. The dragon awoke with a rumble, hot steam pouring up from its mouth. The knight responded in kind, drawing his steel and charging forward. The dragon had his own weapon. He used the Eye of Bahamut to... My dual rhythmic dictation broke when I read that line. I straightened out in my chair and inspected each subsequent line carefully. He used his Eye of Bahamut to call upon the power of radiance to pierce through the knight's soul. Not a single thought was concealed from his gaze. The knight's thoughts, even his emotions, were laid bare before the scaled giant. Really? That sounds exactly like the Eye of Horus. That description sounded eerily familiar. I named my ability the Eye of Horus when I was a child. At the time, I was just copying one of my childhood friends. But was I actually using the Eye of Bahamut? But what would that mean? Why would we have the Eye of Bahamut? Honestly, Eye of Horus fits better. Yeah, it kind of does, to be honest.
The Eye of Bahamut.
Ah! I jumped out of my seat again. How did she always sneak up on me like that? Do you know about this Eye of Bahamut? This is the first time I've seen it mentioned.
Legends say that the Eye of Bahamut holds the power to mimic the radiance of the celestial gods.
The Celestial Gods? Are they anything like the Scaled Lord?
Not quite, and I doubt you'd find anything about them here.
The Eye of Bahamut mimics the radiance of the gods. Does that mean the dragon in the story is mimicking magic related to those Celestials?
Unfortunately, knowledge of them is quite scarce in Wyverngard. Even mentioning the Celestials could very well tie a noose around your neck. It's forbidden to possess any texts that even whisper their names.
Why do we have this book, then? The kingdom must have been suppressing knowledge of religions other than the Scaled Lord. No wonder I couldn't find any information here. Was this whole morning a colossal waste of time? No, this is still a lead. The Eye of Bahamut. If I couldn't read about the Celestial Gods here, I just have to look somewhere else. Miss Timora had a lot of connections. I'm not sure if she'd condone the risk of buying illegal books, though. Suddenly a low-pitched thrum thundered across the room. It was unnaturally loud. Must have been produced by some sort of magic. What?
What is that?
Were you messing around with the arcane constructs?
What? No! I mean, only a little. I didn't expect that to trip anything.
Great.
It finally stopped.
Eris, wasn't that the lockdown? What do you mean? Lockdown?
Yes, I believe so.
Lockdown?
The Academy is outfitted with a large artificery system. In a state of emergency, it will erect magical barriers throughout the building.
State of emergency? Should we be worried?
Don't worry. The lockdown is designed to keep everyone sequestered. We're safe from most threats as long as those barriers stay up.
But, Miss Timora, wasn't she still on campus? I'm terribly sorry. Who? As this embodied voice cut through the anxious murmurs of the students in the library. Susan Valksy, please remain calm. There's been an attack in one of the lecture halls. What? Please stay where you are and wait for the city watch to arrive. We have to get out of here.
What? Tyrion, no, that's the last thing we should do.
I ran towards the library entrance. My body crashed to the door. It didn't budge at all. I desperately pushed and pulled at the handle, trying to wrench the door open.
Tyrion, stop that.
But, Miss Timora!
I know that you're worried about her, but it's not safe out there. Look, the best thing we can do right now is stay here and wait until the lockdown is over.
I knew she was right, but I couldn't just stand here and do nothing. I began kicking the door handle, but my foot was repelled by a low hum of magical energy. It didn't move at all. Oh boy. Celeste's hand rested on the hilt of her sword. Her eyes slowly scanned our surroundings. The other students watched her fearfully. No one dared to come near us.
Celeste, I think you can calm down. They said the attack was in the lecture halls.
She answered him without breaking her glare.
We don't know what's happening. It's my job to keep Tyrion safe.
She also calmed me down earlier. It's easy to forget sometimes, but she really was vigilant when it counted. She's reliable, that's for damn sure.
What?
Students and faculty, thank you for your patience. The Knights have secured the building.
The lockdown has been lifted. However, please remain in the building until... He was barely finished with his announcement before I was out the door.
Tyrion! Hey, don't go off on your own!
Where is she? I desperately ran through the academy hallways. No! Miss Timora! Miss Timora, where are you? I was running blindly. My breath was haggard. My heart was racing. Dread was creeping inside me with each passing moment. I didn't even know where I was going.
Cuthbert,
Oh, there you are. Thank goodness.
what's wrong? Why are you shouting?
Miss Timora!
Are you okay? You're breathing...
Relief washed over my anxiety. I just embraced my mentor tightly. She always demanded I keep a professional distance from her, but despite myself, I was just relieved she was safe.
Tyrion, there you are. And you're crying?
Cuthbert, you're hurting me.
Sorry. I let go of her and tried to stifle my tears.
We heard the announcement. Are you okay, Ruby?
I am, but
As Samora glanced at Wallace, she slowly put herself between us.
for now, I think we should head to the foyer.
What happened? We arrived at the foyer. The academy was swarmed with a legion of familiar knights. The Inquisition.
Don't tell me.
He mentioned that there was an attack on campus. They must have used magic.
Who's dead?
Hey, you there.
As we came into the foyer, the commander marched toward us. His attention wasn't focused on Celeste this time.
Oh?
Wallace Nightgrave, by the authority of the Wyvern Guard Crown, I'm placing you under arrest.
Hey, what the? Before Wallace could react, Orm grabbed him by the wrist and began dragging him away.
Hey, what are you doing?
You three? What the hell are you doing here?
You said he was under arrest. On what charges?
A charge of first-degree murder. This damn mage killed Catherine Bellwether.
Whoa, okay. That's not all what I expected to happen. Bellwether's dead? I thought she was going to be the murderer. Huh? What? Celeste grabbed the commander's arm and wrenched him off of Wallace. Orm showed no resistance, clearly remembering what happened during her arrest last week.
Like hell you're arresting him. He was with us in the library the entire morning. There's no way he could have murdered her.
Step aside, Celeste.
No, Miss Timora's right. If Wallace is a suspect, we can't legally stop the Inquisition from arresting him. It'd be best for you to go with them, Wallace. I'm sure we can get this all sorted out. I could only watch as the Inquisition dragged him away.
My apologies. I'm going to accompany him.
I can't believe this.
They arrested him, even though he was in a different room.
The school's filled with plenty of mages. There has to be a longer list of suspects.
What do we do now?
Let's head to the lecture halls. That's where the murder must have taken place.
Cuthbert,
Yes?
he hasn't accepted you as his attorney. You don't even know if you'll be working this case.
But I know that he's innocent. She looks like she was about to reprimand me, but she just allowed a defeated sigh. If I think somebody's innocent, I'm gonna defend them. Stop trying to get in my way about it.
Just remember that being an attorney is your job. Our law firm isn't a charity. If you overextend yourself, I'm not going to pay your rent for you.
Right.
I have another appointment in the city. Can you two take it from here?
Yes, of course. Alright, let's go, Celeste.
Oh, I've been waiting for our first case.
Celeste, Wallace was just arrested. Be respectful.
Right, sorry.
I was reluctant to admit that I was just as excited as she was. Alright, so here we have... Bellwether's dead, and Wallace is arrested. Who is the murderer? A few hours had passed since Wallace was arrested. Celeste and I were with him during the lockdown, so the Inquisition took our statements. But the more they questioned me, the more I could tell that they were looking for gaps in my testimony. We would need to do more if we wanted to establish an alibi for Wallace.
They definitely know how to waste a lot of time.
They know who we are now. We'll have to expect more interference from them in the future.
Hey, Tyrion,
Yeah?
are you okay? I'm sorry for stopping you before. I know you were just worried about Ruby.
No, you were completely right. I was being emotional.
You really care about her, don't you?
She's done a lot for me. If it weren't for her, I would have grown up on the streets.
Oh, really? It's just...
What is it?
Don't you think the way she treats you is a bit cold sometimes?
It's only for my benefit. I need to be the best attorney I can be if I want to quit my clients.
Still, she's your guardian, isn't she? She could be nicer to you.
She's never been good at expressing emotions. I think something may have happened in the past, but I never tried to pry. But I know for a fact that she cares for me. I've seen it many times.
Yeah, I guess my dad was the same way. I guess people show love in different ways.
Exactly. I know you didn't get the best first impression of her, but I hope you can get along with her.
I'll try, but only because I really like this job.
Really?
Yeah, you're the best client I've ever had, Tyrion.
I see. That's good to hear. She's probably just saying that. I'm sure she told every one of her clients the same thing. Anyway, we should get to work.
Right, Ruby said that a bunch of knights were heading to Lecture Hall 2B. Sounds like a good place to start.
Well, you already know what we gotta do.
Okay.
It's my attorney's runestones, at least. It proves that I'm a certified attorney.
Yeah, you've shown this thing to me before.
It's fitted with artificery. I can use it to take pictures of evidence and crime scenes.
Yes, it's very cool, Tyrion.
I want to show it anyways. What do you think about this, at least?
Ah, sorry, Tyrion. I don't think I can help you with that.
Bullshit.
It's kind of fun seeing you work through everything.
Yeah, there is something satisfying about it.
I'm so glad I got the job. It's so much less stressful than being a mercenary.
Really? You've had to stop people from breaking into my house every night.
Oh, that's nothing. When I was a mercenary, I had to fight hordes of people and monsters at once.
Where the fuck were you?
The assassins were nothing.
The scariest part is that I wasn't sure she was exaggerating. I don't think she was. Look at you. Oh. You have the same dialogue there. What do you think about this? What about her? I hope Eris is handling this well. Her friend was falsely accused of murder. I still don't trust her. I trust Wallace. I trust Wallace of being innocent of the crime. I don't trust Eris. Eris still scares me. Eris could very well still be a murderer. Or, not even a murderer. She's just a psychopath at this point.
Really? She doesn't seem that bothered.
The people who show the least emotion tend to feel it most strongly. I knew that better than anyone.
We really don't know much about Wallace, do we?
We know that he has a solid alibi for the murder. There's no way he killed Bellwether.
You really believe in your clients, don't you?
Of course. How can I expect the courts to believe in his innocence if I don't?
I'm glad you're confident, but what would you do if you found out your client was guilty?
I never take on a client like that. The High Force is pretty good at vetting people.
Is that really...
What?
Nothing. I guess it's not really my place to say anything.
Look at the person who's dead. It's a statue of some sort of scientist. There's some writing below it. He looks very modern. Gillian Chemnitz, the inventor of early artificery.
Artificery is really impressive, isn't it? Lets anyone use magic without having noble blood.
Although the expenses of owning artificery presented their own barrier.
This statue's kind of weird, though. Kinda looks like he doesn't even want to be here.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yo, this guy looks sick. It's many of a man with some sort of creature on his arm. Dr. Delbert Taforis, a mage, historian, archaeologist, anthropologist, and botanist. What is he not? Best known for his work in studying the history of the ancient dragons. Through his work, great leaps were made in the study and development of the School of Evocation. On his arm is one of the last pseudo-dragons, which are now extinct. Oh.
Ponder the orb.
It's a painting professor with some kind of magical tool. There's some text under it. Dr. Paul Varela. I'm going to call it Varela. Also known as the Archaeologist of the North. He spent many years studying and exploring the mountain regions of Chardalon, and through his investigation, he came upon one of the many layers of the Scaled Lord. He was honored by both the Church and the Wyverngard Historical Society for his impressive discovery. Chandelier. Doesn't seem like there's anything else you can examine here. Investigation.
I hope Wallace is okay. The Inquisition isn't exactly great at treating its prisoners well.
Even as an attorney, there's only so much I could do. Until I could acquit Wallace, he would be stuck in that dungeon. Let's head to Lecture Hall 2B. We need to figure out what happened. Where should we go?
Where should we go next?
The first thing we need to do is find out exactly what happened. Mr. Morris said the body was found in Lecture Hall 2B. I just realized something that's going to be kind of painful. It's gonna be one of those two twins, isn't it? It's gonna be one of the two twins that killed Bellwether, isn't it? If it's one of those two, then it's gonna be kind of sad to do that, because in a way, I don't blame them for lashing out, but at the same time, a murder is a murder. Let's start an investigation there. Alright, let's move. What happens if I actually go to other places? Like, let's go to the Ratholm dungeon. Looked around the dungeon, but I didn't see Wallace in any of the cells.
The Inquisition is probably still questioning him. We should come back later.
Lit torches. Prisoner safety was probably the last thing on the Inquisition's mind. 3-story drop. They probably noticed that Celeste broke the lock last time she was here. Incredible. Nice job, Celeste. Back to the... No, wait. We were just here. Oh, dear. Let's go this way. Anything of intrigue in here? Oh, wait. This is Lecture Hall 2B, where Bellwether's body was found. 2D. 2F. 2H. Anything else? Storage closet. Wasn't anything of note. Okay. Alright, to the classroom. Let's see it.
Hey, stop right there!
As we tried to enter the classroom, one of the Inquisition Knights stepped between us and the door. He tried to make himself look big, but I could see him falter when he recognized Celeste. I'm a defense attorney. We have a right to investigate the crime scene.
Yeah, from what I've heard, the kid doesn't have an attorney yet.
Right. Still needed to talk to Wallace about that. I thought Wallace had another attorney in mind, but I would have less jurisdiction until he made it official.
That's quite right. Let him in.
Steelwyn!
Lady Steelwyn!
Have I told you about calling me that? While you work under me, you will address me as Prosecutor Steelwind.
Yes, Prosecutor Steelwyn.
Thanks, Steelwyn!
What's that smell?
As we entered the classroom, a sour and rancid odor blew over us. My eyes began to tear up. I had to take a handkerchief from my pocket and cover my nose.
Don't worry, you eventually get used to it.
What do you mean? What is it? What are you even doing here, Steelwyn?
I'm here to coordinate the investigation.
I looked around the room. There wasn't a single Inquisition Knight to be found. There was only her. Was she investigating the crime scene by herself?
Due to the circumstances, I've decided to handle this case personally.
Since we got you here, could we ask you some questions about what happened?
Can I assume that you're planning to defend this case? That would make you my opponent. What do I have to gain from helping you?
Right.
However, I would be willing to answer your questions. But only if you answer some of mine as well.
Oh? Okay. Does she want to ask us about Wallace's alibi? I don't think so. She's going to ask about the Eye of Horus, isn't she?
Oh, Tyrion, I almost forgot. Let me show you one of the new spells I learned.
Repario Arcanum.
Huh? Repario Arcanum? What was that?
Yeah, it's the incantation for the Detect Magic spell.
Detect magic? Wait, does that mean...
Yep, I can see magical traces while examining crime scenes.
Oh, damn!
Repario Arcanum.
Aha! So there is magic there. Well, let's check everything else first. It's a painting of some sort of musician. There's some text written below it. Dr. Nicholas Gosu, inventor of the Arcane engine. His work revolutionized trade and travel across the seas. He was well known for not discriminating between the common folk and the nobility, judging his assistants based purely on their merit. When he wasn't conducting research within the Imperial Academy, he was known to compose symphonies in his free time. Sounds like he was a man of many talents. It's supposed to be where the students sit during lectures.
I can't imagine sitting in one place all day.
Have you never attended a school before?
Do you seriously think a dump like Gornhaven has standardized education? I learned from books that I
glanced at Steelwyn before finishing that thought.
learned from books that I appropriated from some traveling merchants. How about you?
I attended a public school when I was younger, but Miss Timora handled most of my education herself.
Oh, they have books here too.
These appear to be textbooks about alchemy.
Aw, lame.
The lecture hall has a window.
Feel like I'd just stare outside all day if I had to sit in this place. How long do they have to sit here anyway? Lectures here last for an hour at minimum.
Hey, Ludlow, how's it going? Thanks for the raid. And, hope you doing good?
An hour? No wonder all the nobles are such psychopaths.
Because they sit in a place?
Present company excluded, I hope. Yeah, you're not that bad, are ya? Have you learned so many spells if you're so distractible?
That is a great point.
I don't know. I just look at the spell formula and do it. I see. Is that not normal?
No. Probably not. You alright? Let's finally get the game again. That's always good. And currently just starting up this second murder case here. Which wipe clean your laptop and reinstall everything. That sounds like pain. Eventually I'm gonna have to do it whenever I get a new PC or just have to redo everything. Ugh. That sounds painful to do. There's a chalk outline where the professor's body was. Appears that most of the blood came from her abdomen. Is that where the fatal wound was? There's a lot of blood in this puddle, but there's no trail leading to it. And there aren't any magical traces anywhere else in the room. I doubt the murderer used magic to clean it. Brave. Feeling love? Thank you. Hope you too. Hope you are too.
Does that mean the murderer attacked her in this room?
Maybe, but it's hard to say for certain. Bloodstain under the body. Hey. Thank you, Tipsy. Bloodstain under the body. There's a pool of blood where Catherine Bellwether's body was. The location implies that she bled from her abdominal area. Okay. We can detect magic.
What?
What's wrong?
There's a trace of necromancy in Bellwether's body.
Oh boy. Yep, I had a feeling. I had to do it because of the hacked issue, but gotta see a laptop needed anyway. Gotcha. Well, at least it's nice to know that's better now, right? Necromancy. Oh boy. That is going to complicate a lot, isn't it? Necromancy?
Isn't necromancy the type of magic that creates zombies? She's not gonna get up and walk away, right? We're honestly not sure. The Inquisition is on edge about that as well.
We have to be careful about the dead body coming back now. But how's that implicate Wallace? Does he know necromancy?
Oh, he didn't tell you. Wallace Nightgrave is a necromancer.
Okay. The thing, the evidence did say that he was secretive about his, magic type. So he's a necromancer. Of the games one, I've liked the first case so far, and this one seems interesting too. So, I always like murder mystery type stuff. I still want Capcom to make another Ace Attorney game. Maybe one day.
What? We believe that he drained her life force using a spell called Neurotic Blight.
Neurotic Blight. Neurotic Black, a necromancy school of magic. Blighto incantation. Point index finger at target. It's instant and it requires no concentration. Pulls all the life energy from the target, resulting in instant death. The spell does not wound the target, nor does it leave any physical evidence, but it still leaves a magical trace. Well, we've already got a problem there then. There's blood. It says it doesn't leave any physical evidence. It doesn't leave a wound. But why is there blood on the ground then? And? Assuming that... The question might be then, what killed her? What exactly killed her? Was it neurotic blight? What? If it's instant death, then it had to... The blood is what's throwing me for a loop. Why would there be blood if this spell does not cause any wounds or anything like that? It still leaves a magical trace, which is why we see the magical trace, I guess.
Spells like that tend to interfere with the divination spell we use to identify the cause of death. However, there were no visible wounds. Only a necromancy spell could have killed her.
Do you have a copy of the autopsy report?
Of course, but it's incomplete because of the aforementioned reasons.
Died at 2:01 p.m. Body shows no signs of cuts or bruising. The alchemist report has verified that death was not caused by poison or disease. Body shows traces of necromancy and illusion magic. Cause of death is not apparent, but very likely caused by necromancy magic. Something doesn't add up here. There's no cuts or bruises, nothing. But the blood shouldn't exist then. We can see the red blood there. So how did that get there? Figuring out that blood feels very important right now. I feel like that's the most important thing to figure out, like, what's the blood doing there?
This whole ordeal has put everyone on edge. This is the first case of necrotic homicide we've had in nearly a century.
Really? I couldn't believe it. I'd only read about necromancy in fantasy novels. I never imagined that I'd end up defending a necromancer. But if what you're saying is true, weren't there plenty of other mages who could have used necromancy? This is an academy for mages, after all.
No, the knowledge required to learn necromancy is heavily controlled. Mr. Nightgrave already violated several laws simply by learning these spells.
Really? I mean, to be fair, I can definitely see problems with with learning a spell that instantly kills somebody. I can definitely see there being a problem with that. So I guess, fair enough, I guess.
I'm baffled as to how you even got access to that knowledge in the first place.
Right, necromancy sound like some dark magic, even by the nobility standard. Another thing that I'm also curious about is the fact that the autopsy, it mentions not just necromancy, but illusion. Necromancy and illusion. So it makes me wonder one of two things. One, the appearance of illusion magic could be because Bellwether herself was proficient in illusion magic, so it's possible maybe she could have cast some illusion magic on herself before she died. The other thing that could happen, the one that I fear would be more difficult, is this was a planned killing with two people. Like we have two suspects, I mean. One person who cast necromancy and one who cast illusions. I'm more inclined to believe that she simply casted illusion magic on herself before she died, but it's not impossible somebody else could be helping the necromancer, the person who cast necromancy. I'd be terrified to know why anyone would want to learn that type of magic.
The fact that he was the only known student who knew these spells makes him our only suspect. But still too convenient. Something else is happening.
Really? Wait a minute. Report has verified the death was not caused by poison or disease. I'm trying to think of who all have we seen at this point in this chapter, who could be the most obvious suspects. And unfortunately, the most obvious ones I would have said were the twin chefs. They would definitely have a motive for hating Bellwether, considering her treatment of them. But, if memory serves, from the... You can see, it says, like, arcane art, like, what a person's proficient in on their text box. I don't remember it saying that those twins had any magic. And the autopsy is saying that report has verified the death was not caused by poison or disease. If that's the case, then there's no way it can be the twin. Well, I was just wondering, like, could it be a case of poisoning, but it says it's not poison or disease. And even Steelwind's like, this doesn't make sense. It's too convenient for one person who knows necromancy. I seldom caught thoughts from Steelwind, but they usually only appeared when someone brought up her father. She was usually very composed, and I still didn't see a hint of that uneasiness in her posture. Normally, I could only see her thoughts when the target was stressed or excited. Something about this case must have been rattling her. Is there something you're not telling us, Steelwind? The eye couldn't catch any more thoughts from her. I didn't realize that the eye only worked when it was, stress. Let me present my badge to you.
An attorney's runestone. I have one of those myself.
They're useful, aren't they? The note-taking and picture functions save so much time during these investigations.
They're really a marvel of artificery. You'll see a lot of these among the nobility.
Why would nobles need to store evidence?
They have other uses, Mr. Cuthbert.
It's just a phone. What about the constructs? What do you think about this, Steelwind?
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I can't say much about that.
The bloodstain? As a mage from a noble house, you must have gone to school here. Did you know Catherine Bellwether while you were here?
I unfortunately did. I constantly clashed with her over her treatment of the commoners here. One of my biggest regrets is failing to remove her from her position before I graduated. But she was a friend of House Freyga. There wasn't much I could do against her.
Sound like many people didn't get along with the professor, even other nobles, evidently.
I'd say more, but it's all in the past, and I'm not one to speak ill of the dead.
Fair enough. What about the autopsy? Oh. I have to present everything. It always feels best to present everything.
I wasn't expecting to meet you here, Mr. Cuthbert. The Imperial Academy isn't exactly open to outsiders.
We originally came here to do some research, but I never expected to get wrapped up in another homicide.
What kind of research were you doing? Come on, don't bother asking. He won't tell you.
Damn. Let me answer it, at least.
I'm glad to see you under less dire circumstances, Miss McCoy. Are you accompanying Mr. Cuthbert on his investigation? Yeah, I'm working at Tyrion bodyguard now. I see. We certainly have the credentials for it. Although I'm surprised he's able to afford your services.
What's that supposed to mean?
I meant no offense, but work like this does appear to be below Miss McCoy's pay grade. Yeah, I was surprised too. Ruby pays me a lot to protect this guy.
Damn.
Ah, Ruby Timora's paying you. I suppose that makes more sense.
What the hell? Broke. Eris? What about the suspect? Nothing to say. Catherine? Oh, duh. I shouldn't have expected this conversation would go up again. What about yourself? I was surprised to see you conducting the investigation, Steel One. Why don't you leave things to Commander White?
Please, I can barely trust that oath to make me coffee. After last time, I feel much more confident overseeing the investigation myself.
The Inquisition didn't seem to be helping her at all. They were just standing guard while she did all the work. Damn. Questions?
Miss McCoy, it's my understanding that you were adopted. Would you happen to know who your biological parents were?
Sliss tensed and shifted uncomfortably. That's kind of personal, isn't it?
You agreed to answer my questions.
I did, but I didn't think you meant...
It's fine, Tyrion. It's for Wallace.
She took a breath. This has always been a sore subject for her.
I don't know who my birth parents are. I never tried looking for them. I see. If I recall correctly, your spell compendium only contained one spell. How'd you learn Mage Blade in the first place? I bought a scroll from a merchant a few years ago. It had Mage Blade spell formula on it. But surely someone taught you how to cast it.
Girl!
No, I'm self-taught.
Steelan's eyes narrowed. She's being unusually interrogative about this.
You can't teach yourself magic, Miss McCoy. That's not possible.
Evidently she did it.
Well, I did. Are you sure you're not mistaken? Hey, I got a system, okay? I even learned a few new spells today. I'm sorry, spells? As in plural?
Wait, I only thought you learned one as well. What?
Yeah, I'd like to think I'm pretty good at this. How long did it take you to learn these spells? A few hours, I think. She taught herself multiple spell formulas within a few hours.
No emotions regarding that.
I... see. I think that's all I need to ask for now. Thank you, Miss McCoy. Okay?
Steelan looked like she was deep in thought. Why was she so interested in Sliss magic? The murder. Do you know what happened here, Steelan?
Well, the City Watch received a call from the Academy. They reported an attack on the campus grounds and put the entire building on lockdown. The City Watch set up a perimeter around the building while they waited for the system to deactivate.
They had to wait. Why didn't the Academy just deactivate the system manually?
I'm not sure about the specifics, but supposedly the lockdown can't be shut down once triggered. It's a safety mechanism.
You'll have to ask one of the Academy admins if you want to know more. From what I've heard, you two were also present during the lockdown. Did either of you see anything suspicious? No, but we actually met the professor that morning. She was obviously still alive then. I see. That does match with the accounts from our other witnesses. She must have gone to her meeting with the headmaster afterward.
The headmaster? She had a meeting with the headmaster. How long did this go on for?
From 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., about an hour before her death.
If the headmaster met with Bellwether, he might have known where she went after the meeting. Would you happen to have a map of the Academy?
I do. I'll transfer it to your runestone.
Imperial Academy map. A map of the Imperial Academy. It displays the general area where Catherine Bellwether was seen that day. Okay.
What is it?
There's only one direct path from the headmaster's office to this lecture hall. Yeah. Why would she even enter the lecture hall in the first place? So that's another thing. Why would she be in here? Did she die here, or was she murdered somewhere else? Rancid smell. What is the smell?
That smell is driving me crazy. What is that? There was a bit of an accident during an alchemy lecture a few days ago. The instructor misread the directions for an experiment. As a result, he accidentally produced this rancid-smelling vapor.
Great. Vapor? It's not toxic, is it?
I wouldn't be standing here if it were. It's just extremely unpleasant to the senses. They temporarily closed this lecture hall until they could get rid of the smell.
In that case, it makes even less sense why she would be in here. Why go into the bad-smelling office? Unless there was a specific reason it need to be this office. Or this hall.
Hal Steelman actually used a similar concoction during the Great Luminite War.
What?
See? This is why I stick to transmutation magic. Miss McCoy, alchemy is a branch of transmutation. What? I could have been making potions this entire time?
The foul classroom smell. Weeks ago, the headmaster performed an alchemy experiment incorrectly in Lecture Hall 2B. The resulting chemical reaction produced a rancid yet harmless vapor that still lingers in the room. Alright. How was the body discovered? Who found this? How was the body discovered?
2 members of the kitchen staff spotted her body inside the classroom.
Ah, the twins.
They reported the situation to the campus admin while they attempted to save her life. It was too late. The professor had already passed away long before any healers arrived.
Those 2 staff members, who were they?
Valentina and Valerie Lanus. They're sisters.
How are they holding up? I imagine they'd be rattled after discovering the body of their co-worker.
From what Orem said, they were extremely tense during questioning. I suppose that's to be expected. He told me that they couldn't sit still. He found it difficult to take their statements because of that.
Based on the little information we have so far, the 2 people that I would say have the most direct, motive for killing Bellwether would definitely be the twins. At least one of the 2. The problem is the fact that neither of them, as far as I know, neither of them can cast spells. It said the arcane art for them was none. So they shouldn't, and they were considered commoners, so unless there's something that could have allowed them to change that, something that allowed them to cast magic, like artificery. Can artificery allow someone to cast magic that they can't otherwise cast? They couldn't sit still?
Well, he's always making excuses for his incompetence.
Who discovered the body? The body was discovered in Lecture Hall 2B by Valentina and Valerie Lanus, 2 members of the kitchen staff. According to Commander Orm White, they were being hyperactive during questioning. Why is Wallace a suspect? Is it just because he's the only kid in the entire academy that knows necromancy? We've already told the Inquisition this, but Wallace was with us the entire time. He has a perfect alibi.
Strong, maybe, but his alibi is far from perfect. Miss McCoy herself told us that. There's a small period of time when she wasn't with him. What? Right. It was after we came to check on you when you knocked over that shelf. We got separated and I kind of got lost in fiction section.
Celeste!
She found an early release copy of Death's at Daggerfall. She binge read it for over an hour.
Celeste, this is all because you couldn't keep an eye on him.
Don't just rat me out. He's my boss.
Nonsense. They're well-written books. No one would fault you for that.
Oh, great. Now you're on her side. I mean, I might fault her for that.
Wait, you read them too?
Yes, but what did you think about the ending of The Uncrowned?
Celeste.
I found the cliffhanger to be needlessly unsatisfying. They're stringing the readers along to sell more copies of the sequel.
Oh, come on. Anticipation just makes each new book that much more fulfilling.
Celeste.
I eat brunch with the author occasionally. The fame has clearly gotten to her head. She's clearly just dragging her feet to raise profits.
Could you two take the fucking situation seriously? Please.
You eat brunch with Alferis Duskweaver?
I cleared my throat. Everyone, we are all supposed to be working right now.
You're such a killjoy sometimes.
No, he's right. I don't know what got into me.
Well, after this case is over, I'm tagging along for brunch with you.
What?
Hey, you tried to convict me for murdering my dad. You owe me, Steelwin.
Suppose you have a point.
Damn. So that's how these two become friends. That's great. Alright. What if I present the things you gave me? Foul. This rancid smell is really horrible.
Yes, I don't blame you for finding it distracting.
All because of a mistake during an alchemy experiment.
That's surprised too. It's not like the headmaster to make a mistake like that.
Oh, the headmaster teaches alchemy here.
Really? Okay.
Repario Arcanum.
I don't see any other traces of magic here. So I think we're good on this spot for now. I think we need to move somewhere else and check other places. If I examine here,
Repario Arcanum.
I don't see any obvious traces of magic. We have access. Let's go back to the hallway. I feel like maybe there's traces of magic in here.
Repario Arcanum.
Surprisingly, no. I would have thought there'd be. We also can now go to the kitchen and the headmaster's office. Just to be sure, there's nothing else in here, right?
Repario Arcanum.
Now I just want to go to every area just to see. Alright, we can go to the kitchen or the headmaster's office. Let's go to the kitchen first. Let's go see one of those two twins. Or maybe both. Hello? Is anyone there?
Looks like there's no one here right now. Maybe we should check somewhere else.
Repario Arcanum.
I don't see anything in here. They must have served the students meals on these plates. It's a shame they had to close the kitchen due to the investigation. There was a large sack of produce in the corner. There was some fine wine there, too. Must be for cooking. Or for the professors. There's a set of pots for cooking soups and the like. Spoon. A rack of cooking implements hanging from the wall. Several commonly used ingredients were close to the cooking area. A barrel full of some sort of drink.
I wonder.
It's probably not Lois juice, at least. Don't drink the barrel! There's a large cooking station here. They must have prepared the meals in bulk. Bread. Oh, it's a plate of bread. They probably serve these as sides to the entrees.
Don't get any ideas, Tyrion.
What?
Remember when you went to that fancy restaurant? You just kept ordering breadsticks and butter.
What is the problem with that? What if I just want to eat nothing but breadsticks and butter? The bread is free! I might as well take advantage of it.
You know, eating that many carbs isn't good for you.
Hunger! It's not as if I'm gaining any weight.
Weird. I've never had that problem either.
Hunger! Alright, doesn't seem like there's anything else to explore here. Headmaster room it is. We need to meet the headmaster here. I followed the map that Steelwin gave us, arriving at the headmaster's office.
Oh, hello there.
Hi there.
I wasn't expecting yesterday.
An elderly man rose to greet us, his hand trembling as he walked towards us with the support of his cane. His face was wrinkled, but his eyes were sharp. His expression held the wisdom of a lifelong lived. I recognized his voice. He was the one who made those announcements during the lockdown. Sorry for coming unannounced. You must be...
My name is Theodore Redman. I'm the headmaster of the Wyvern God Imperial Academy.
Theodore Redmond, the headmaster, 88, damn. The elderly headmaster of the Wyvern Imperial Academy. He appears to be close to Wallace and facilitated his studies in necromancy. He's an illusion user.
And judging from your appearances, you must be the protege of Ruby Timora. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Why are you here?
They must be here to investigate the murder.
I still don't trust this lady. Whenever I see her, there's a non-zero chance the screen glitches and I see that horrifying nightmare thing again. You know, I say that I'm always terrified of her, but I have neglected to say something else that worries me. That glitch didn't just happen with Eris. There was one time it happened with somebody else. With Ruby. There was one time that the glitching effect happened, but with Ruby. Most of the time it's just with Eris, but why would it happen with Ruby as well? Is Ruby also hiding something? Well, I mean, obviously she's probably hiding a lot, but...
They must be here to investigate the murder.
Wait, Eris? I thought you went to see Wallace.
Unfortunately, the Inquisition is questioning him right now. They are allowing visitors. He must be so scared right now. I hope he's okay.
Right, she had the same experience not too long ago.
I can't believe this is happening. Why in the Lord's name did they arrest Wallace?
Sadness, anger, and shock. Seems like you don't like what's happened.
Repario Arcanum.
I don't see any traces of magic in here. Let's explore it. It's a painting of someone. He looks like some sort of professor.
That's Professor Lucas Gilbert. He was an instructor here many decades ago. He was quite the accomplished scholar, and well beloved by the students here. And this was all despite his lack of magical ability.
He studied magic without actually being able to use it?
Yes, he was quite remarkable. Unfortunately, we lost him to illness very early in his career.
Oh. There's a window with a view of the garden. The headmaster has a nice view from up here. There's a small table for guests. Is that wine?
No, actually. It's just apple juice. Most of my guests are students, after all.
You know what? Fair enough.
I can't be drinking on the job.
It's a painting of a mage, but he doesn't quite look like a noble.
Oh, that's Jason Steelwind, one of the chosen mages of the Scaled Lord.
Wait, Steelwind? As in...
Yes, he's the earliest recorded ancestor of House Steelwind.
Really? Huh.
Legends say that the Scaled Lord bestowed his power upon him and his allies to create the first mages.
Wow, it's hard to even tell that he and the prosecutor belong to the same bloodline.
Yeah, I was about to say. I guess the blue carries over.
As with all noble houses, House Steelwind has quite humble beginnings.
If only they remember where they came from. Yeah, I was about to say, they sure as hell don't remember it. Fire. There's a fireplace with some burning wood. It looks pretty cozy. Anything else of intrigue? Chair isn't anything. Chandelier. Fancy looking chandelier. That's it. You already know I gotta present everything.
Ah, runestone. You have one too.
This one's specifically created for attorneys. Lets me take pictures of evidence in crime scenes.
I never really understood the appeal of those contraptions.
Really? They're really convenient.
I just can never wrap my head around how to use them. They're just not for me.
Fair enough. Look at the knights. What can you tell me about this, Mr. Redmond?
Ah, my apologies. I've learned about a lot in my years, but I can't say much about that. It's a terrible thing that happened. To think that someone would commit murder within the Academy.
Using necromancy, no less.
Yes, it's a lot to take in.
What can you tell me about Catherine Bellwether?
Nothing kind, I can tell you that much.
Oh. Sadness, anger, and shock. So not even the headmaster liked her. Interesting. Wow, that was a whole mess of emotions. Yeah.
Truth be told, she was rather unpleasant to work with.
Can you think of any enemies she might have had?
You might as well list anyone who didn't hail from the Four Pillar families.
Really?
Eris!
It's best not to be around the bush with these sorts of things. As I'm sure you saw this morning, Asphalt was probably less abrasive than her personality. Many people in the school did not care for her.
Maybe she wasn't the nicest person, but would that really be enough to motivate someone to murder her?
She'd often target and harass students, especially those who were commoners. She even made a habit of expelling those students for the smallest infractions.
For commoners, magic can be our ticket out of poverty. I can't imagine how it'd feel to have that opportunity unfairly ripped away from you.
She was akin to a grim reaper, hanging over the student body, waiting to steal away their futures. The human psyche can only be pushed so far.
What about our relationship with the facility? With the faculty?
In some cases, it was worse than it was with the students.
Really?
She'd often treat the staff like her personal servants. I've received many complaints from them about her behavior. I was powerless to stop her.
How? I thought you were the headmaster.
She's a close friend of the Duke of Finance. She used her position to curry favor with the noble houses over the years. As you can imagine, the Academy's board is controlled by the nobility. If I ever tried to remove her, there would be dire consequences.
Damn. Bellwether's reputation. Catherine Bellwether had a tense relation with just about everyone in the Academy. She had a history of bullying students from the common folk and mistreating the Academy staff. For several years, she used her position to curry favor with the noble houses. That kind of makes a problem because it means motivation, feels like that means... I feel like this means that a motive for killing her becomes less important because with the way she was treating everybody, just about everyone could have had the damn motivation to do it. So I feel like this makes a possible motive less valuable. Unfortunate, but just gonna have to work around that. I don't even know what I showed you to get that. The Imperial Academy is actually quite big when I look at it.
Well, of course. We are the primary source of magical education for mages throughout the kingdom. As you may well know, most of the mages enrolled here are of the nobility. Their families have invested a lot in our facilities.
Steelman told us there was a bit of a mishap in Lecture Hall 2B. Yeah, wasn't that your fault?
Yes. I was filling in for the alchemy instructor when I accidentally misread the instructions she left. I'm quite embarrassed to admit that my old age is catching up to me.
Oh, I didn't know you were the instructor for that alchemy class. Yeah. What can you tell me about the... Oh. Nothing from there. Nothing about necromancy. People time. Look at me.
I'm sorry that your first visit to the Academy ended so tragically, Mr. Cuthbert.
There's no need to apologize. No one could have guessed that today would turn out like this.
Nevertheless, I hope you found our resources useful for your research.
Alright. How about Celeste?
I've heard that Miss Timora had recently hired a mage. I hope that you found our resources useful for your studies.
Yeah, definitely. I was able to learn a lot of spells today.
Spells?
Why did everyone react like that? Was learning multiple spells not normal?
Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed using our library. Our academy does offer scholarships for mages of the common folk. Would you be interested in enrolling here?
No offense, but I just can't stand the idea of being cooped up in a school like this. I like learning about magic in the field.
Ah, that's unfortunate. It would have been cool to have another person here.
Miss Timora mentioned that you gave us permission to use the library. I can't thank you enough for that. We learned a lot.
Of course, I'm always willing to aid the younger generation in the pursuit of knowledge.
How do you know Miss Timora anyway?
That's...
Oh, did she defend him in a court case? From his reaction, it must have been a hard time in his life. It'd be best not to pry further. Yeah, you don't gotta talk about that, buddy. What about Eris?
Did you know, Eris is one of our top students in the study of illusion magic.
She's also the most terrifying student here, I gotta say. Can you make her stop giving me, horror flashes? She, every time I look at her, there's a non-zero chance I get flashed with, a demon for, a split second. Could you make her stop doing that? Please?
Thank you, Headmaster. I appreciate your praise.
Why do you study illusion magic, Eris?
Oh, no particular reason. I just happen to have an affinity for it. It's also quite enjoyable to use my magic to deceive people.
I guess she did enjoy startling me. Just make her stop scaring me. What can you tell me about Wallace? Earlier you said that he was one of your prized students. We also heard that he's a necromancer. I just need to understand if that's really true.
You are correct. Young Wallace is a necromancer.
What? But why would he be studying something like that?
Necromancy is probably one of the most dangerous and most scrutinized schools of magic. Its image has been tainted by myths of dark wizards raising armies of the undead. However, it doesn't just control the forces of death. It can also control the forces of life.
Forces of life.
The truth is that healing magic is also classified as necromancy.
Really? Healing magic is classified as necromancy? I guess I can see it, considering it... I mean, yeah, necromancy is kind of toying with the idea of life and death, so... On the life side of things, yeah. Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Most healers don't care to admit it because of the stigma it has, but that's why Wallace is studying it.
So he was just trying to be a healer? He might even have some spells on him that... I want to take a look at his spell compendium, then. Based off what Theodore's telling us, it seems likely that maybe Theodore has some, healing spells or something.
He wishes to become a doctor.
There are plenty of mages who know healing magic. Why is Wallace being singled out?
For years, he's been studying necromancy beyond the basic healing spells. He believes that high-level necromancy could revolutionize modern medicine.
I see. He's trying to go even further with it than anyone else. And from others' perspective, all that looks like is... Oh, he's just trying to get real deep into necromancy. He's going to become like a devil or demon or something. That's how other people are going to view it.
Unfortunately, many among the faculty don't see it that way. Wallace doesn't hail from any of the noble houses.
Again, just like you said, it doesn't help that he's not even from a noble house. If he was from a noble house, then he might be able to get away with it. But he's not. So he's going to be scrutinized even more thoroughly than anyone else.
He was abandoned by his parents at an orphanage, presumably to avoid a scandal.
He's like me.
Yep.
Many of the faculty fear that he'll use his knowledge to raise armies of the undead, just like the necromancers of fiction. The Imperial Academy isn't even permitted to teach its students beyond basic healing magic.
Then why did you allow him to study it?
After everything that has happened to him, I made an exception, even if I was breaking the law.
Damn. What happened to him?
I'm not at liberty to say more.
Really? What can you tell me about Catherine? Oh, we already saw this. Skip. Steelwind, have you met the prosecutor, Mr. Redmond?
Ah, I'm already well acquainted with her. She was once a student here.
Oh, right, she is a noble.
What's she like when she attends school here?
She was quite the overachiever. She was elected student council president during her first year in the general Arcane track.
She would be one of those students.
I do miss those days. She was working so hard to escape from Beatrice's shadow.
Sadness and anger. Who is Beatrice? That's a name we haven't heard before, I don't think. Is it her mother? Talk about yourself. How long have you been headmaster of the Imperial Academy, Mr. Redmond?
For as long as I can remember. I have dedicated my life to nurturing the knowledge and growth of young mages. And I hope to do so for many more years to come. I've come this far.
Sadness, anger, and shock. That's a strange reaction to have to that, I feel. Why would you be reacting that way? His thoughts didn't match with what he was saying. Yeah. That didn't make sense. That was weird. The murder.
This is terrible. To think that one of my prize students would be accused of murder.
We heard your voice on the intercom when the lockdown happened. Are you the one who triggered it?
Yes. I activated it when I received the call from Valentina. She reported that Professor Bellwether was collapsed and unresponsive.
The headmaster's actions. The headmaster activated the Academy's lockdown system in response to receiving a call from security. This call reported that Catherine Bellwether had been fatally wounded. How does this lockdown system work? Again, the thing that sticks in my head, the blood doesn't make sense. There's a pool of blood where Catherine Bellwether's body was. The location implies that she bled from her abdominal area. That doesn't make sense, because the spell Necrotic Blight does not cause any wounds. That blood shouldn't exist. And the autopsy report itself says that there's no signs of cuts or bruising. That blood has no reason to exist there. That blood can't possibly be Catherine's, I don't think. But if it's not her blood, then whose is it? How's the lockdown system work?
It's an artificery network that's built into the walls of the entire academy. In the event of an emergency, I can activate it using the stone.
The headmaster pulls out a glowing stone from his desk. I could hear the hum of magical energy emanating from it.
Once activated, the system creates magical barriers throughout the building. It's designed to contain and protect each room in the building.
Could a powerful mage breach any of these barriers?
I doubt it. The barriers can withstand a great amount of force. They even block mages from teleporting through them.
Really?
And once activated, even I can't turn it off for an hour.
So it's a guaranteed hour stop. The Academy lockdown system. The Academy's lockdown is a system of artificery that covers the entire Academy building. Once activated, it creates magical barriers that isolate and protect each room in the building. These barriers can't be breached with physical or magical force. They also block mages from teleporting through them. Interesting. Wallace Nightgrave. What can you tell me about Wallace? Earlier you said that he was one of your prized students. We also heard that he's a necromancer. I just need to understand that. Oh, we already read this. Why Wallace being singled out? Doesn't hail from a noble house. I'm just making sure. I'm just kind of reading through it just to make sure. Okay, that was all the same that we read before. Wallace's spell compendium. I want to see that.
If you plan on defending Wallace, will you need a spell compendium?
Yes, having a client's compendium is instrumental to acquitting them.
You may find that a bit difficult. After a certain incident, he destroyed his compendium.
What? Why? What? Why would he do that? Doesn't he need it to cast magic?
A spell compendium is a device that we use to keep track of what spells we can cast. It's really convenient for remembering the formulas and incantations of my spells, but it's not really actually required to use magic. I thought of getting rid of mine a long time ago, but they're really expensive. Luckily, I have an unattuned spell compendium right here. I'd be more than happy to give it to you if it helps Wallace.
Oh, thanks.
Wallace just needs to maintain physical contact with it for 10 minutes. After that, a compendium will attune to his magic and update in real time.
So we can get what all his spells are if we just have him hold the book. That helps.
Just make sure that you don't let another mage like Sleece hold it. Once it attunes to a mage, no one else can use it.
Wait, then how did...
Okay, what are you... Alright, pause. Eris, I saw that. What? No. No. Nuh-uh. Bring that text back. I saw that. That didn't say wonderful. I just hope you can persuade Wallace to attune to it. That said, wait, how did you... Eris, no. Nuh-uh. It happened again. What is she doing? Oh, I don't... This lady scares me. Eris? She somehow made Theodore just be okay with the whole situation. Who are you?
Wonderful. I just hope you can persuade Wallace to attune to it.
That did not say that! An unattuned spell compendium. If a mage keeps this on their person for 10 minutes, it will attune to their magic and display what spells they can cast. Once it attunes to a person, it can't attune to anyone else. I don't like that. I don't like that. Eris! What can you tell me about... Oh, wait. I already saw this. I don't trust you, girly. You are a demon that's toying with words. The meeting. I heard that you had a meeting scheduled with Professor Bellwether this morning. What time was this? And when did the meeting end?
Our meeting was scheduled for noon. She arrived on time, and our meeting lasted until 1 p.m.
Did anything seem off about her to you?
No, she seemed to be her usual self. her usual insufferable self.
Damn. Sad, anger, and shock. If you don't mind me asking, what was the purpose of your meeting?
We met to discuss routine administrative matters. Despite our personal disagreements, we knew to stay civil when discussing professional affairs. But to be perfectly honest, it did always feel like I was treading on eggshells when speaking to her.
But you were her superior, weren't you? Didn't she respect your authority?
We had many arguments about how I was managing the Imperial Academy, and she was very vocal about her distaste for the students accepted through my scholarship program. She was difficult, to say the least.
I am afraid... She scares me. Let's leave Eris alone before she rewrites reality. Get me out of here. Let's try going to the kitchen now.
Is anyone there? I'll be right there. Sorry, but the cafeteria's closed right now.
Okay, which one are you? Actually, we're here to investigate what happened to Catherine Bellwether. We heard that 2 members of the kitchen staff discovered the body. Her posture tensed at the mention of Bellwether.
Oh, that would be me. I'm Valentina.
Valentina Ioannis, kitchen staff, works for the kitchen staff at the Imperial Academy. She works alongside her sister Valerie. She seems to be on edge due to Bellwether's murder. She was the head chef of the kitchen. She was close to my age. I knew how picky nobles were, and I imagined that their children would be worse. If her cooking fit their standards, that was impressive in and of itself. How about your sister? Do you know where she is right now? I'd like to get her statement too.
Oh, she's somewhere else on campus right now. If you're with us Knights, we've already told them everything we know.
Actually, we're investigating separately from them. I wanted to ask you some questions about what you saw.
Sure. I'm going to have to remember. There are so many details.
Shock, anger, and sadness. What was that just now? Miss Valentina seemed a little anxious. Snooping around might have scared her off. I need to talk before examining. Look at all the stuff I got.
Scared Lord has got a thing!
It's an attorney's runestone. It proves I'm a certified attorney. It's fitted with artificery, and I can use it to take pictures of evidence in crime scenes.
Pictures? I do not consent to having my picture taken. You are legally not allowed to.
I wasn't planning to.
Tyrion, just put it away.
Constructs? What can you tell me about this, Miss Ioannis?
Sorry, I don't have much to say about it.
What can you tell me?
Tell me something.
What can you tell me about Catherine Bellwether?
Nothing good if that's what you're looking for.
Sadness and anger. And another set of negative emotions.
Just tell us the truth. I don't think we talked to anyone who had anything nice to say about her. Yeah, she was a horrible person. She was really terrible to everyone.
Did that include the academy staff?
She always treated us like her personal servants. Sometimes she'd make messes on purpose just so she could order us to clean it up. I thought the kids from the noble houses were bad, but she was something else. She acted like she owned the place, but she wasn't even from a noble family. The only reason why she had any power was because of her friend on the school board. I just hope we can still keep our jobs.
Sadness and shock. Interesting. Why would she be worried about that? Nothing to say. The smell? What about you? No. What about her? The lockdown? What about the system? What about the book? It says she has no arcane art. Necrotic blight. Look at yourself. No. What can you tell me about the headmaster?
Oh, he's a really nice person. We would have never gotten a job here if it weren't for him.
Really?
Yeah, he has connections with the local community center. He hires people from the common folk there to work at the academy.
Seems like a chill guy. What about Steelwind? Nope. What about... I already know where this is going. I knew what was going to happen, and I just did it anyways. What about Wallace? What do you know about the suspect in this case? His name is Wallace Nightgrave. He's a student here.
He's a scary necromancer, right? The one that makes zombies.
Those are just rumors. He wants to be a doctor.
But he studies necromancy.
Have you ever actually gotten to know him?
No, but I've heard the rumors. He's always hanging around the cemetery. I'm sure he's just buying his time, waiting for a chance to raise an army.
Couldn't be helped that people thought of him that way. I still wasn't sure what to make of all this. That's mean. How about Eris? Do you know Eris Illmatter?
Ah, she's even scarier than that necromancer.
I can agree with that. That I can agree with. What?
I've heard rumors about her, you know. People who start talking to her end up missing or worse. I feel like every time I'm around her, something about her that fills me with dread.
Have you actually spoken to her before? She's a nice person.
No thanks, I'm good.
Okay. What about Ruby? What about my assistant here? So are you two, like, private investigators, or... Wait, no.
Sorry, are you two like private investigators or supermodels?
Supermodels? I'm not sure what gave her that idea, but it'd be best not to tell her that I planned on being Wallace's attorney. Nope. Oh, right. What did you see? Could you tell us about what happened when you and your sister discovered the body?
Right. My sister and I were heading to the west exit. We saw the professor in the nearby classroom. She was lying on the floor in a pool of blood. It really scared me seeing her like that.
Sadness, anger, and shock.
I used an emergency communication device to call for help. While I was doing that, my sister tried to wake her up. That is what happened.
Why are you saying that is what happened? That almost sounds like you're trying to convince yourself that is what happened. Is that actually what happened? Sadness and shock. Was the professor still alive?
I don't know. But she wasn't breathing, and she didn't have a pulse.
She was less tense, which might imply that she was telling the truth. It's possible the attack happened well before they discovered the body. Wallace Nightgrave. Oh, what can you tell me? Oh. Friggin', I already read all this. Keeping your job. Do you ever feel like your job was at risk because of Bellwether?
Why would you say that?
It was just a hunch.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. I, for one, plan to work here until the day I die.
She was clearly lying, but maybe it would be best to keep that to myself for now. Strange. Sleaze, this room was close to the crime scene. Could you cast Detect Magic and scan for magical traces?
Sure. Did you just say scan for magical traces?
What are we gonna find in here?
Oh, I'll just get out of your way then.
Before we could even acknowledge her, she has something on her.
Wow, she can run pretty fast.
What was that about? She has something on her.
Arcanum.
She definitely has something on her. Where are you? Are you in here? I spot Valentina again. She was speaking to someone in a blue-collar uniform. If I detect magic, are you gonna show up on it? I only met her briefly in the kitchen, but there was something different about her posture. And then there was a man in the uniform. Could he be the custodian that she mentioned? As I approached, I noticed he was slouched over. He barely looked awake. Even while speaking to Valentina, he was sweeping the floor. However, his movements looked robotic. He was just going through the motions without any awareness.
Jan, I know you're tired. But we really need you to fix the plumbing in the kitchen sinks.
Valentina Giannis? Question mark?
Someone just died. Can't we just take the day off for once?
I'm sorry, but Valentina and I still need you to cook for the students.
You're Valeria. Wait, why was Valentina suddenly speaking in the third person?
Oh, hello. Valentina? Oh, my apologies. I'm not Valentina. I'm her sister, Valerie.
kitchen staff. Works for the kitchen staff at the Imperial Academy. She works alongside her sister, Valentina. She's softer spoken when compared to her sister, but she also seems to be on edge due to Bellwether's murder.
Are you trying to trick us or something? You look exactly the same.
I remembered reading about something like this before. You two are identical twins, aren't you?
Yes, that's correct.
Wait, this meant that she was the one who discovered the body alongside Valentina. Since we have you, do you mind if we ask you some questions about what happened?
I'm terribly sorry. I've already spent a lot of time looking for Jan here. I'm really behind my work. But Jan was also nearby when we discovered the body. I'm sure you can answer your questions.
Before I had a chance to object, Valerie quickly walked away.
Wait! Do you want me to go after her? Pretty sure I can catch up to her.
No, we don't want to scare those two more than we already have. Anyways, Valerie said that Jan was nearby when the murder happened. Maybe he saw something they didn't. Jan Hughes, custodian. Custodian who works at the Imperial Academy. He looks exhausted. He looks like he's struggling just to stay awake whenever I talk to him. Poor man just wants to sleep. Jan, was it? Do you mind if we ask you some questions about what happened?
Really? Well, whatever. At least I have an excuse to take a break now.
Repario Arcanum.
Look at this badge.
What's that thing? Is it a rock?
It's an attorney's runestone. Proves that I'm a certified attorney. It's filled with artificery. I can use it to take pictures of evidence and crime. Would you stay awake, damn you? Jan?
Oh, sorry. I dozed off there for a second.
Stay awake, damn you.
I just really hope we don't lose our jobs as those constructs.
Right, Valentina mentioned something similar. I wonder what he meant by that. What can you tell me about this, Mr. Hughes?
Oh no. It's not my department.
He wasn't being very helpful. Brother.
I still can't believe someone killed Bellwether. It's unreal.
I'm sure you have mixed feelings about what happened.
Yeah, I feel like I should be happy. But honestly, I don't know what to feel. It's easier not to think about it.
Fair enough, I guess. Wrong button. He's not being very helpful. How about the smell? Are you aware of the foul smell in the lecture hall, 2B?
Yeah. Luckily, Arya isn't letting anyone to the lecture hall until the investigation's over. But I'll probably have to get to it eventually. Alchemical messes are always such a pain to clean up. I wonder if Arya can help me out like she used to.
Wait, do you know Prosecutor Steelman?
She went here a few years ago. She always helped me out using her magic.
Oh, really?
I miss that.
Aw. What about the Discoverer? Are you friends with the Giannis sisters?
Yeah, us commoners gotta stick together after all. I don't know if you got a chance to try it, but their food is amazing. Valerie always saves food for me, so I pay that back by washing their dishes when I have time.
I guess there's always give and take in a place like this.
Yeah, we even shared notes to figure out Bellwether's schedule. It made it a lot easier to avoid her.
Bellwether was kind of a menace here, wasn't she? It honestly feels like nobody in this academy is going to be sad over her disappearance. Feels like everyone's just more scared about a murderer being on the loose than they are about the person who got murdered. I guess that's her own doing. How's working under Headmaster Redman?
It's great. I owe a lot to him for getting me this job. I suppose these things never last.
What do you mean by that? Everyone here, all the workers here seem to be worried about their jobs. What are you telling me about the... Oh. What are you telling me?
Nothing. I'm sleepy.
Necrotic. What about yourself? So Jan, are you part of the staff here?
Yep, I'm a janitor. I clean. I do odd jobs here and there.
Well, apparently that's all I had to say about that. Are you friends with the Oh. I assume the same thing. I'm gonna check anyways, but yeah. White people. I should have figured this would be the same. Have you met Prosecutor Steelwyn?
Not recently, but she used to go to school here a few years ago.
What was she like back then?
Oh, she was great. She always reprimanded Bellwether when she'd pick on the students and staff. She was a Steelwyn, so she was probably the only person in the school that could stand up to her. The students elected her as a student body president, and she took that job pretty seriously. Things were a lot better when she was here.
Steelwyn's kind of great, isn't she?
I don't care what people say, she was so much better than Beatrice.
There's that name again. Who's Beatrice? Yeah, I about to say. I can figure where it's going, but I'm going to do it anyways. What can you tell me about this? Oh, I thought you would say something about the victim, or sorry, the suspect. What about the psycho woman who keeps altering my perception? How about my boss? How about my assistant? How about me?
I don't know you. What do you want me to say?
Jan Hughes. So Jan, are you part of the staff here?
Yep, I'm a janitor. I clean, do odd jobs.
Well, that's it. Wrong button. Wrong button. The murder. Valerie mentioned you were close to Lecture Hall 2B before they found Bellwether. What were you doing when the twins discovered the body?
I was cleaning the halls. Bellwether knocked over a vase. There were shards and dirt everywhere.
Wait, you saw the professor before the twins arrived?
Yeah, like I said, she broke the vase right in this hallway. It was probably 20 or 30 minutes before the twins found the body.
You might have been the last person to see her alive. Did you see where she went after she broke the vase?
Yeah, I think she went to that room over there.
Towards Lecture Hall 2B. Did you see anyone else enter the lecture hall?
I'm honestly not sure. I was more worried about cleaning up the mess she made.
Well, did you notice anything off about her?
She was in a pretty bad mood. But honestly, that's pretty normal for her. She's walking really slowly. I didn't notice her at first. She basically shoved me out of her way. After that, she knocked over that vase. She then yelled at me to be quiet. I didn't even say anything.
Interesting. 3 minutes before the Giannis twins found the body, Bellwether walked past Jan in the West Wing hallway. He was in her path, so she shoved him out of her way. After that, she knocked over a vase and shattered it. Even though Jan didn't say anything to her, she yelled at him to be quiet. After this interaction, she walked into Lecture Hall 2B. That's weird. Catherine Bellwether. I heard that she had a pretty bad relationship with the staff.
She had a bad relationship with everyone. Students, the art teachers. I can't think of many people who actually did get along with her.
I'm sure you had your own share of bad experiences with her.
Yeah, she'd always yell at me whenever I dozed off. I hate to say it, but things are a lot more peaceful around here without her.
That was blunt, to say the least. But from what I'd heard from everyone else, I can't exactly blame him for thinking that. Firing the academy staff, what's this all about? Valentina mentioned something interesting. She seems to think Bellwether was putting her job at risk.
Oh yeah, Bellwether was putting all of our jobs at risk.
It was with the constructs, wasn't it? What made you think that?
You know those arcane constructs in the library? Bellwether was the one who put them there.
Oh yeah, they're so cool.
Well, a few weeks ago, I peeked in on a meeting she was having with Theodore. Apparently, the school board was planning to replace the staff with them.
Oh.
Well, I'm sure the headmaster rejected her proposal.
I don't know. The way she was talking, it sounded like he didn't have a say in the matter.
But only the headmaster should have the authority to fire the staff. Why would she be that confident?
I don't know. All I know is that she hated having commoners on campus. She was really miffed when Theodore started hiring common folk from the community center.
Supposedly, Bellwether told the headmaster that she was planning to fire all the academy staff and replace them with arcane constructs. This plan was overheard by Jan Hughes a few weeks ago. Something's not right here. I think it is. I feel like it's going to be one of the staff members that are going to be the killer. I think it is. Because now I feel like there's an even more direct motive for them to kill. Because if Bellwether's plan went through, then they would be out of a job. And who knows what would happen to them then. But of course, if someone could take out Bellwether, then... Okay, thanks for answering our questions, Jan.
Sure, anytime.
What's wrong? We still don't have any leads on other suspects. It's just a lot of people who saw and or hated Bellwether.
Right. If it wasn't Wallace, it could have still been any other mage.
The trial's coming up soon. We still don't know why there are any traces of necromancy on the body.
Come on, don't be like that. You always get to the truth in the end.
At least it's only been one time.
And after we quit Wallace, it's going to be a grand total of 2 times. It doesn't matter who tries to stop us, man, king, or god.
I couldn't help but chuckle to myself. Okay. I guess we still need to talk to Wallace. Let's head to the dungeons.
See? There we go.
I feel like it's going to be one of the staff members. If they're so scared of losing their job, then they could result. The question, though, is if it is a member of the staff, how could they possibly kill Bellwether without magic, without knowing magic themselves? And there was the way that one of them was acting before. I want them to be... I want to have detect magic acting on one of them. As we arrived at the Ratholm dungeon, I spotted Wallace locked in one of the nearby cells. He was lying on the floor, muttering to himself. It's over. My life is over. Wallace. Who are you? What do you want?
Wallace, it's us.
Oh, right.
How are you doing?
Apparently not well. Please tell me you're going to get me out of here. I kept telling them I didn't do it, but they won't listen. I'm sorry, Wallace, but they found traces of necromancy magic on the body. They're convinced that you did this, and they're going to push your case to trial. No! Are they going to execute me? What? This can't be happening. Are the walls moving? Are they closing in? I can't breathe. Please, calm down. Wallace, we know that you're innocent. Those knights think I did this. Are they going to kill me? I've spent my entire life learning how to deal with situations like this. If you let me represent you in court, I can prove that you're innocent. Oh, right. You said that you were a lawyer. But I don't really have any money to pay you with. Don't worry about that. For now, let's just focus on getting you acquitted. What? Do they seriously want to help me? Shock and happiness. No, they must want something from me. Well, I guess it doesn't matter anyway. It's not like I have anything else to lose. Wasn't exactly the reaction I was hoping for, but at least he was cooperating. Alright, we at least got something.
Arcanum.
No magic. Alibi, no. It's begin presenting time. What is this? Some kind of artificery? It's an attorney's runestone. Proves I'm a certified attorney. It's fitted with artificery. I can use it to take pictures of evidence and crime scenes. Oh, I've seen some of the richer students using things like this.
I'm sorry about him. He always shows that thing to everyone.
I just think it's neat. What can you tell me about this, Wallace? Sorry, I can't tell you much about that. Nothing? I still can't believe the professor is actually dead. Yeah, we just saw her this morning. It just doesn't feel real. Regardless of who did this and for what reason, they're putting an innocent kid in trouble for it. I don't care if one of the staff had good... I don't care if it was someone who had good intentions by getting rid of her. You can't frame a kid. Do you know the twins who work in the academy kitchen?
Not personally. I only ever saw them when I went to get food in the cafeteria. But I could tell they were both scared of me, too. They always did their best to avoid talking to me. Sometimes they give me extra food.
I feel like... no. Okay. Headmaster? The academy lockdown? Surprised we can't give him the book yet. Jan statement. Nope. Nothing on her plan. What about the spell? No, I was honestly kind of expecting him to say something.
I know I shouldn't be asking this, but
What is it?
why are you helping me? I don't have enough gold to pay you.
It's because we know that you're innocent.
Is that seriously the only reason?
I became a defense attorney to help mages who are persecuted by the nobility. I know how much our society mistreats the common folk. I want to alleviate that, even if it's just a little.
Okay.
He still looked like he didn't fully believe me.
I wish I could be like you, Celeste.
What?
You look so reliable. I wish I could even be half as confident as you are.
Don't worry, I'm sure you'll get there one day.
I don't know about that.
Kiddo. Eris? You seem to be good friends with Eris, despite your reputation.
Yeah, I have no idea why she spends time with me.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to imply...
No, I get it.
It sounds like everyone at the academy is scared of her, too. Maybe she understands your situation better than anyone.
Maybe.
What about you? I've met a lot of mages in my time, but I've never met a necromancer before.
Yeah, and you're not exactly what I was expecting.
Sorry for disappointing you.
That's not what I meant.
Bruh. Bro's self-esteem is almost as bad as mine. Steelwind? Nope. How about Redmond? You seem to have a good relationship with the headmaster. He said that you were one of his star students.
Really? He said that? The only reason why I'm even allowed to attend this academy is because of him.
What do you mean?
He's running a scholarship program for mages born outside noble houses. Usually only nobles can afford to attend the Imperial Academy, but he's allowed mages born through the common folk to enroll there for free.
I think I already saw this. What about Jan? No. Alright, let's begin talking. Your alibi.
I don't understand. I was with you in the library the entire time. Why do they still think I'm the murderer? It makes no sense. Unless...
Unless...
You told the Inquisition, right? Did you tell them I was with you? Was I betrayed? Did they frame me?
He backed away from us, a look of suspicion on his face. We did, but they found traces of necromancy on the body. They believe that Bellwether was murdered with a necromancy spell. He seemed to get even more tense, something that I didn't think was possible. Eris had mentioned his studies were something that he'd like to keep to himself. I would need to be more delicate. Wallace, we heard about the type of magic that you're studying.
Don't worry, the headmaster explained it to us already. You just want to use necromancy to become a doctor, right?
I think what you're doing is really respectable. It's nice to see a dark school of magic being used as a force for good.
What? No! You got it all backwards! It's because of Wraithbound! Those stupid books!
Wraithbound? For the first time, I saw some genuine rage from him.
Real necromancy has always been about healing! But because of garbage like Wraithbound, the public keeps calling for necromancy to be outlawed!
I think calling it garbage may be a bit much.
The nobility paid Corin Bloomvale to write stories about evil necromancers. He was such a sellout! Liches are magically impossible, but people still just believe that nonsense. That man single-handedly threw the study of necromancy back into the Stone Age.
I had to temper myself. He's clearly passionate about this, but I'll admit it stung to hear about him talk about my favorite book like that. Damn.
Maybe we should talk about something else.
Spell compendium. I understand that you have reservations about talking about your magic. In order to build a case for you, we'll need to present your spell compendium to the courts.
I don't have one.
Eris already told us about that. That's why she gave us a blank one for you to attune to.
Do I have to?
It'd be extremely difficult to defend you without your compendium. It's a core piece of evidence.
Okay, I'll tune to it.
Alright. Wallace's spell compendium. Wallace Nightgrave's spell compendium. It contains the formulas for the following spells: Prestidigitation, Mend Wounds, Illusory Disguise, Revive, Animate Corpse, and Necrotic Blight. So he does have Necrotic Blight. Prestidigitation can create a simple, harmless visual effect. We already saw that one before. Mend Wounds, Necromancy School Magic, Menaz, Incantation. Place hand on target lasts for 1 minute, but requires no concentration. Heals the wounds of the target over the casting time. Wounds on the target are magically healed without leaving any scars or bruises. The spell can't restore missing limbs, nor can it revive someone who has already died. Illusory Disguise, an illusion school magic. Illusio. No gesture, lasts for 1 hour, requires no concentration. Places an illusion on the target to completely change their visual appearance. The disguise moves with the target for the duration. The disguise can make the target look 1 foot larger or smaller. Elements hidden by the spell are made invisible. And elements created by the spell are purely visual. You cannot make physical contact with it. Okay. Revive, Necromancy, Vivify. No gesture, instant duration, but requires concentration. Floods a target with life energy in an attempt to resuscitate them. It does not heal wounds sustained. Results aren't guaranteed. It cannot resuscitate someone who has been dead for more than a minute. Okay. Animate Corpse, Necromancy School, Necros. No gesture, lasts for 8 hours, and no concentration needed. Reanimates a target using life energy, creating an undead minion for the duration. I didn't read that. I accidentally skipped it. The minion follows the caster's orders, but its intelligence is limited and it cannot speak. The minion can end the spell prematurely, but will only do so if ordered by the caster. Once the spell is ended, the undead will return to being a dead body. Wait a minute. I just had a weird thought. What if you could combine these spells in a weird way? What if you could combine these spells in a very, very weird way? Let's go with... Let me set the scene here for a second. I don't know if this could work like this, but just hear me out. Somebody dies, right? Their body just... They're completely dead. You can use Animate Corpse, and they'll be alive for 8 hours. Then, and let's say that the reason they die is because they had a hole in their stomach, right? Then you use Mend Wounds. And then Mend Wounds repairs the cut. It repairs the wound. It can't revive someone who's already dead, but it doesn't say anything about not healing the flesh still. So at this point, you suddenly have a dead body that looks completely fine. Fine. You could even maybe use Illusory Disguise. Was Bellwether killed way before this? I'm starting to wonder if maybe Bellwether was killed before this all happened. Do we still have... No, we only have Wallace's spell compendium. I understood why he was studying this type of magic, but the spells in his compendium sounded fairly gruesome. It was a little terrifying to know that spells like this even existed.
Sorry, a long time ago I showed my compendium to someone. After she saw my necromancy spell, she told everyone in the academy. That's when Professor Bellwether started coming after me.
That must have been difficult for you.
After that, I didn't really talk to anyone.
What about Eris? Yeah, I guess Eris was there too. Seemed like it was a difficult time for him. No wonder he had so much trouble remembering. Something similar happened to me after I left my hometown. Let's show him his different spells. Let's see if that gets a reaction. Not that. What about Mend? What about Illusory? What about Revive? Or Animate? No. Alright, Wallace and Eris.
How'd you and Eris become friends anyway? Who is she? There's something off about her.
Yeah, I'm afraid too, Celeste. There's another kind of fear from her.
Oh, sometimes the art students would steal the ID number off my locker and switch it with another student's. They thought it was funny when that student got angry with me. Eris had a bit of a reputation around her school. Everyone was scared of her, even the students from the nobility.
Probably due to some baseless rumor.
One day someone switched my ID number with hers. I was so scared when she came up to me, I couldn't even say anything. But she didn't get angry like the others. She just apologized and gave me back my nameplate. After that, she started talking to me whenever she saw me.
So I have to ask, if it's caused you so much trouble, why are you still studying necromancy?
I want to become a doctor.
The headmaster told us the same thing, but why are you learning spells that can steal people's life force and raise the undead?
Life and death are two sides of the same coin. That's the key principle behind necromancy. The first undead was actually a failed attempt to resurrect human using magic. Right now, necromancy can only heal injuries and wounds, but it can't do anything for diseases or deformities. If I could just keep studying, I know I could develop necromancy beyond that. I might even be able to create spells that can cure terminal diseases.
Would that be a thing now? I think you already guessed, but how was your relationship with Catherine Bellwether?
After word got out about my spells, Professor Bellwether would always find reasons to punish me. She'd start yelling at me for even the smallest mistakes. It was pretty obvious she had it out for the students who didn't come from the noble families.
That's terrible.
I'd wake up each day scared that she noticed me in the hallways. I knew how to avoid her and stay out of her way, but sometimes she got bored and come looking for me. I can't believe that after everything she did, she's just gone.
I'm sure you have mixed emotions about what happened.
I honestly don't know how I feel about it. To be honest, I always wish she would just disappear. Now it's finally happened, I just feel even more scared. Feels like she's going to come back as a ghost to haunt me.
Honestly, with how hateful she was, maybe she will. I think I'm starting to put things together now.
Have you figured something out?
Yeah, I need a moment to think through everything. The prosecution wants to implicate Wallace despite his alibi. They wouldn't have a reason to do this unless the evidence heavily implicated him. How does the evidence implicate Wallace? We've learned that Wallace is a necromancer, and he's the only person in the Academy that's capable of high-level necromancy.
Maybe.
It would probably be a magical trace of necromancy was found on the body. There's a trace of necromancy on the body.
This means that they think Wallace used one of his necromancy spells. Even without seeing the traces, it's pretty obvious that magic was used on the body.
Right. There aren't any wounds on it. And the autopsy report found no signs of poison or disease. Which spell do they think Wallace used? If I know Prosecutor Steelwind, she probably already has a theory on which spell he might have used. The prosecution will probably argue that Wallace used one of his spells to kill Bellwether. It would be Necrotic Blight. They'll probably say that he used Necrotic Blight.
That makes sense. Necrotic Blight would have drained the life force from her body.
There's a pool of blood where Catherine Bellwether's body was. This is strange because she wouldn't have been wounded by Necrotic Blight. Exactly. But that's where the contradiction lies. Let's suppose that Wallace did kill Bellwether using Necrotic Blight. There's something at the crime scene that wouldn't be there if that were true. What is wrong with the crime scene?
Maybe.
Lecture Hall 2B's floor was covered in blood, but...
Maybe.
Steele would probably argue that Wallace used necrotic blight, but if that really did happen, there was something on the body that shouldn't be there. Necrotic blight is a spell that doesn't inflict any visible wounds. But if that's true, there shouldn't have been any blood at the crime scene.
But then what really happened?
That's the last piece. If I had to guess, the information we need is being hidden by one of the witnesses who discovered the body.
Valentina.
She's definitely hiding something. Did you notice how she reacted when I asked you to scan the room?
Yeah, she ran away. She even tried to be subtle about it.
With the way she reacted, I think she may be trying to hide herself from your detect magic. Which can only mean that there's a magical trace on her.
I wonder what she's trying to hide.
There's only one way to find out. Next time you see her, can you cast detect magic from afar and scan her?
Alright.
It's been a while
since we talked to her. Valerie also mentioned that they still had work to do. She might be back in the Academy's kitchen now.
Let's move then. I want to know why she's hiding.
Those two are finally gone. I can finally get some cleaning done.
We approached the kitchen from afar, making sure that Valentina wouldn't spot us. We're pretty far away, but Celeste had the eyes of a hawk. Must have been a skill she picked up from her days as a mercenary. Here she is, Celeste.
Right.
Just don't shout that incantation like you always do.
I know that. Repario Arcanum.
What is it?
There's a trace of magic on her.
I knew it. What school of magic is it?
It's necromancy. There's a trace of necromancy on her.
What? Yep, Valentina's magical trace. Valentina has a magical trace of necromancy on her. Someone cast a necromancy spell on her within the last 48 hours. Why? And what one? What spell does she have on her?
Is she gonna be okay? What if the real killer cursed her or something?
I still wasn't sure how this fit with everything, but if she was in danger, we were obligated to tell her. For now, let's talk to her and see if she saw who cast a spell on her. If all else fails, we can confront her with the evidence we have.
Oh, it's you two again. They're back? Okay, just relax. I just need to repeat what I told them.
Unfortunately for her, she had far more troubling matters to worry about. I'm just gonna show it, rather. I'm surprised I was kind of hoping. Alright. Magic on the body. Messianis, there appears to be traces of necromancy on Bellwether's body.
That's because the necromancer killed her, right?
That's the thing. If that were true, a lot of the evidence we found wouldn't make sense. I think someone else cast a spell on the body. She became even more tense than before. Is it possible that you saw someone use magic on Bellwether?
No, definitely not. Calm down. There's no way they know.
Her thoughts were an open book now. If I beat her in an argument, her thoughts might show me what she's hiding. Alright. Alright, time to crack you open, shall we? What are you hiding from me? Did you see something? Valentina clearly knew more than she was letting on. She found the body alongside her sister, and she reacted strangely when I mentioned someone may have used magic on the body. What was she hiding? Begin. Argument. Messianis, from the very beginning, I felt like you've been hiding something from us. Valentina Ionis is extremely on edge due to some aspect of the investigation. For whatever reason, she's hiding something that occurred when she and her sister discovered the body. It's clear she fears the repercussions of what happened, but she may respond to even worse threats. There's something that you're not telling us about.
What are you talking about? My conscience is clear. I told you in the night everything I know. I got nothing to hide. My testimony was fine.
Use when the opponent's thought contradicts the evidence. Thought contradicts evidence. What about empathy? When the opponent's emotions contradict her claim. No, it ain't. Empathy. Messianis, it's clear to anyone how nervous you are. I can practically see the fear you're emanating right now. It's clear that you're hiding something from us. Just tell us the truth.
Let's say I were hiding something. Which I'm not, by the way. I don't have to tell you anything. Why should I tell you anything? You're not even with those knights.
My client is innocent. By withholding your testimony, you're condemning him to a wrongful conviction. You have nothing to lose by telling us what happened.
I know that you're not the murderer, and I'll make sure you're protected. You've already given in your statement to the Inquisition. If the truth comes out, what do you think they'll do when they realize you lied to them? She fears the repercussions of what happened, but she may respond onto even worse threats. She may respond to even worse threats. You've already given your statements to the Inquisition. If the truth comes out, what do you think they'll do when they realize you lied to them? So, who are you protecting, Miss Giannis?
You talk a big game, but I bet you can't actually prove anything, can you? You're trying to say that I'm lying to protect someone. I don't know anyone who can use magic. I don't even know any mages, and I definitely didn't see anyone use magic on the body.
I don't know anyone who can use magic. You can't hide the truth from us, Miss Giannis.
What? How did I know?
You said that you've never seen a necromancy spell before. If that were true, why is there a trace of necromancy on you?
What? There's a trace of necromancy on me.
Argument 1. No more hiding. What? She seemed to be generally surprised about that. Was she unaware that a spell was cast on her? No, if she didn't know, she wouldn't have avoided Celeste back then. There had to be an explanation for that. Alright. Why do you have necromancy on you?
This is crazy. Why is there a trace of necromancy on me? Did that guy curse me? Am I going to become a zombie?
That guy? How strange. She seemed genuinely worried. Was she really unaware that a spell was cast on her? No, she ran away from Celeste when Celeste was going to scan the crime scene for magical traces. Why doesn't Valentina know that the spell was necromancy? Wait. She knew that someone used magic on her, but she didn't know that the spell cast on her was necromancy.
Maybe.
I think it was did it hide her? No. Killed her? Calm down, Miss Giannis. Not all necromancy spells relate to the undead. Healing spells are also from the School of Necromancy.
Healing spells? Oh, it was from that time she healed that cut.
She healed it? Who's she? Someone healed a cut on her? Was that mage a student here?
Sorry, I just remember that there's something else I have to do. I'll be right back.
Before we could say anything, she quickly walked out of the room. She seemed to really want to avoid talking about that mage, but why was that?
Hey, we're not done talking to you. Do you want me to just catch her? I'm pretty sure she can't outrun me.
The Inquisition is still patrolling the surrounding area. They'd probably intervene if we started chasing one of the witnesses.
We weren't able to learn anything.
Actually, I did learn one thing. She has a friend who cast a healing spell on her.
Really? How'd you figure that out?
Good deductive reasoning.
Well, healing magic is also a form of necromancy, right? I guess that explains why there are magical traces on her. It's a good thing a necromancer isn't actually trying to kill her.
But that presents a problem. Who's the necromancer? Wait a minute. Why are there traces of necromancy on Bellwether's body?
Maybe.
Wait, did a mage try and cast a healing spell on Bellwether?
That's it!
She wasn't killed by necromancy, was she? That explains the blood. She wasn't never killed by necromancy. If anything, it's possible... That's it! Wait! That's it! That's what's been bugging me. Mend wounds. It doesn't... It says that it can't revive somebody who has already died, but it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It sounds like you can still heal up wounds. It's just it's not going to revive them. She died to something other than a necromancy.
That's it. What?
This whole time we've been wondering why there were traces of necromancy on the body. She was killed by illusion magic or something. Or at least illusion magic seems to be the more likely culprit of why she's dead. It wasn't because someone attacked Bellwether with a necromancy spell. It's because someone used a necromancy spell to try to heal her.
Oh, I get it. It doesn't matter what type of necromancy spell someone uses. Traces from the same school of magic look exactly the same to me.
It's not just that. The body clearly bled at some point. Somebody used mend. It closed the wounds on Bellwether's body. What would happen if someone used a healing spell on an injured corpse?
It closed all the body's wounds.
Exactly. There we go. In other words, it would remove any cuts or bruises.
So that's why they couldn't find any wounds on her.
So that autopsy report is faulty at this point.
Well, interrogating Valentina may have been a dead end, but at least it helped you figure that out.
I'm not sure it was a dead end.
What makes you say that?
Why would she go to so much trouble to hide those traces on her? The question is, who is the illusion? Who is the one who did that? Who is the person that cast necromancy on her? Most specifically, she said it was a she. Looking at the people we have right now, could it be Valerie? If we're talking about students that know illusion magic, Eris fits. Bellwether fits, but she's dead. Theodore fits. Could it be Eris or Theodore? It's too coincidental. The wounds on the body were healed by an unknown person. And the person who found the body is hiding the identity of a healing spell cast on her. But it couldn't be the headmaster. Nor could it... It could be Eris. If we could figure out what spells Eris has, we might be... Well, actually, no, wait. Something's not right. I'm looking at this wrong. Necromancy. There's no other female necromancer. There's no other female necromancer. Someone has to be hiding that they can do necromancy then. And the best guess I have would be Valerie. Can Valerie use necromancy? Is she just hiding that she's able to do it? What if they're the same person? That shall give us the opportunity to find out, for sure.
Yeah, she's definitely onto us.
We've done everything we could for now, and we have plenty of evidence to poke holes in the prosecution's case. And if that didn't work, we just have to drag Valentina onto the stand and pull out the truth out of her. She clearly knew more than she was letting on, and she wouldn't be able to run in the courtroom.
I'm telling you, that girl used the magic to scan me. Calm down. We don't even know who they are. Didn't you see them, Val? Those two were unreasonably attractive.
What?
Okay. But what does that mean? They have to be nobles or something. Commoners don't look that good. Tina, calm down. What if they find out what you did? They can't prove anything. The Inquisition already has our alibi.
Alibi?
What? Oh, it's just you, Jan.
What are you two talking about?
We were just talking about those two investigators. They're so weird, right? Like, why are they so attractive? Why do you keep mentioning that?
Investigators? Oh, you mean the blonde kid and the girl with the sword?
They talked to you, didn't they?
Yeah, they asked me a bunch of questions. I think they're investigating Bellwether's murder.
What did you tell them?
Oh, not much. I saw Bellwether a bit before you two found the body, so they wanted to know if I saw anything.
Did you see anything?
No idea. Just told them about how she shoved me before you two discovered the body. After that, the guy just kept Like going on and on about getting the truth and finding our suspects.
Skilled, I think I'm gonna be sick.
He seemed really interested when I told him Bella was going to fire us.
What? Why would you tell them about that?
Oh, it's not as if it makes any difference, right? With Bellwether gone, I'm pretty sure we'll see a few more paychecks before they fire us.
Valentina cursed under her breath.
Damn it all. That's probably what they're thinking too.
Are you okay? You don't look so good.
Just go away, Jan. Don't you have work to do?
Don't remind me.
By the way, I made you lunch. It's on the front counter in the kitchen.
Thanks. You're a lifesaver, Valerie.
Hey, have our motive, Val. You have our motive, and they're going to find out what we did. You don't know that. Why did Jan have to go blabbing about Bella's plans to those two? Why did you keep making meals for him? He doesn't even do anything. What? I'm just gonna come out and say it. I have to run a two-person kitchen every meal just to feed those pampered kids. He just lays around and complains about his job. Tina, he's overworked. Like hell he's overworked. Every time I see him, he's either napping or barely working. Have you been around the campus? Have you ever seen it dirty? No, but he's the only custodian on staff, and the school board won't let the headmaster hire more. He barely has enough time to sleep. Why do you think he's so tired all the time? Scaled Lord. I'm really sorry. Are we really gonna be okay? Everything's gonna be fine. We just need to do our best and keep our story straight. Have you been able to get into the library lately? No, the Knights are patrolling around it. I was really hoping to get one last study session for you before they fire us. Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah, I think we have our killers. I'm starting to think it is killers. They're starting to realize something. They're starting to realize it's time for the trial, and my heart was thundering against my chest like a drum. Luckily, I'd been reading about some meditative techniques after what happened last time. I just need to take deep breaths and relax. I breathed in, I breathed out. I breathed in.
Hi, Tyrion. Silly. Don't sneak up on me like that. Are your nerves acting up again? Come on, it's not as if this is your first time defending someone.
No, it's just my second!
It's too bad Ruby couldn't make it. I say you should calm down for Wallace's sake, but...
There's so many people here! They're all looking at me! Their eyes are prying into me like a pack of flesh-eating maggots!
Ew.
I need to calm down. I was just making Wallace more nervous. Don't worry, Wallace. Our investigation revealed a lot of weaknesses in the prosecution's case. We have a strong case for your acquittal. Okay. Actually, that was true. We really had nothing to worry about.
See? You can be confident when you want to be. Hello, I have returned. Order in the court. Court is now in session for the trial of Wallace Nightgrave. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is also ready.
Very well. Prosecutor Steelman, could you please list the charges? Mr. Nightgrave is a second-year student at the Wyvern Guard Imperial Academy. He's charged with first-degree murder, negligent misuse of the arcane arts, and illegal practice of advanced necromancy. Necromancy? Do you mean to tell me that the defendant is a necromancer?
I can't believe it!
A necromancer in this day and age.
How could the king allow this to happen?
Your Honor, I would like to remind the court that they are obligated to judge my client objectively.
Of course, but one can easily see it from the list of charges. Necromancy plays a large role in the charges. Indeed, the crime occurred within the academy this afternoon. The victim is Catherine Bellwether, a professor at the school. Although there were no witnesses to the crime, traces of necromancy were detected on the body.
Imagine that she said that
The victim was Bellwether.
and then you just hear the gallery erupt into applause like, finally, the wicked bitch is dead. Ding dong. How does it go again? Ding dong, the wicked bitch is dead.
Although there were no witnesses to the crime, traces of necromancy were detected on the body. Furthermore, the autopsy report shows that the body has no physical wounds. Necromancy is the only type of magic that can harm an individual without physically wounding them. Additionally, an alchemist report shows no sign of poison or disease. One could only conclude that a necromancer committed the crime. I see.
As many of you know, the practice of advanced necromancy is outlawed in the kingdom of Wyverngard. Aside from the defendant, no other student had learned advanced necrotic magic. As such, the defendant was the only mage in that building capable of committing the murder.
I see. There's certainly compelling evidence.
To properly present our case, the prosecution would like to call Commander Orm White to the stand.
Oh, great. I'm here again.
Commander White, please testify to the court about the Inquisition's findings.
Yeah. I don't want to be here. I just get yelled at all the time. It started when the city got a call from the Imperial Academy. Someone was attacked, and the whole building was put on lockdown. We set up a perimeter around the area and waited for the lockdown system to deactivate. When we finally got into the building, the prosecutor personally inspected the body and detected traces of necromancy on it. There were no cuts or bruises on the body either. The entire body was clean. With those two pieces of evidence, we concluded that it could only be a necromancer kid that did it.
The Inquisition's testimony is just like I expected. I'd already found and identified the holes in Steelman's case. All I had to do was find the hole in the commander's testimony. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination.
Alright. Let's go, buddy.
Started when the City Watch got a call from the Imperial Academy. Someone was attacked and the whole building was put in lockdown. What time did this call come in?
A little after 3 p.m. It was a few minutes after the murder was discovered.
Right. I remember that was around the time the lockdown occurred. Whoopsie. Whoops. It's a few minutes after the murder was discovered, right? I remember that was around the time the lockdown occurred. The lockdown couldn't be ended manually, so that they must have been forced to wait for an hour until it was lifted. How secure was this perimeter? Is it possible that someone slipped past you?
The Inquisition was working in conjunction with the City Watch and the Kingsguard. With that many soldiers at the scene, it's very unlikely that anyone escaped unnoticed.
That made sense. For better or for worse, the kingdom must have acted quickly to protect a building filled with the children of every noble family. Great. Oh, whoops, I just bounced my mic. When we finally got into the building, the prosecutor personally inspected the body and detected traces of necromancy on it. Why did the prosecutor inspect the body instead of the Inquisition?
Well,
Objection!
It's because I want to kill it's because I want to kill him for what he did last time. If I choose to lead the investigation, it's irrelevant to the proceedings. Or would you like to insinuate that I'm not as competent as Commander White?
It's not a question of your competency, Steelman. I just find your actions to be bizarre, given how you usually work.
Well, the court admits that the prosecutor's actions are unorthodox. We find the presence of a necromancer to be an unorthodox situation. I see no reason to question the prosecutor's action.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Gosh dang it. There were no cuts or bruises on the body either. The entire body was clean. How carefully was the body checked? Perhaps the prosecution missed something like a small puncture wound.
The coroner couldn't find even the smallest cut, bruise, or fracture on the body. Furthermore, the alchemist's report showed no signs of poison or disease. The necromancy spell had obfuscated the post-mortem divination. I spared no expense to verify the cause of death through the other means.
Made sense. If someone had used men wounds on the body, it would have healed even the most minor of injuries. So how do I prove that someone healed the body? With those pieces of evidence, we conclude that it could only be the necromancer kid that did it. And the prosecution believes that my client used necrotic blight.
Yep, it's the only way the crime scene makes any sense.
Necrotic blight? I'm afraid I've never heard of this spell before.
Necrotic blight is a spell that drains the life force from its target. When used on a living human, it makes their bodily functions cease. Their body dies soon after.
I see.
A horrible spell! The Comer should never be allowed to learn something like that. I thought there would be more protection against children learning this. Also, the spell compendium really isn't doing him any favors. There really is a large stigma against necromancers, isn't there?
We already collected a lot of evidence after investigating the crime scene. We already know that the Inquisition's theory contradicts one of the clues we found.
Right, all I have to do is present the contradictions to the court. There were no cuts and bruises on the body, either. The entire body was clean. I think this is the statement. I'm going to say it because I don't actually know for certain. But that doesn't make sense that the body was clean. There was blood found underneath.
Objection!
So how do you explain that? Commander White, appears that you've neglected to mention one key detail of the crime scene.
Yeah, What's that?
During your testimony, you said that the entire body was clean. I will admit that there weren't any wounds on the body. However, the body was certainly not clean. At the scene of the crime, there was a large pool of blood located where the body was. This blood had to have come from the victim's body, and it was certainly not clean like the commander testified.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but I fail to see the significance of this.
I'd like to remind the court of the prosecution's case against my client. They were accusing him of murdering the victim using necrotic blight, a spell which would not have physically wounded the victim. So why was there any blood at all?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The fact still stands. There were no wounds on the body, nor were there any reports of this poison or disease on the autopsy. There are clearly magical elements in this case.
But Catherine Bellwether was bleeding profusely at some point. How else would there be a bloodstain on the body? Do you have an explanation for that, Miss Steelwind?
No. I'll admit that the prosecution doesn't have an explanation for that. And while I do find the circumstances questionable, all our evidence clearly points to the defendant.
Which spell would leave a trace of necromancy?
So tell me, Mr. Cuthbert, if the victim wasn't killed with necromancy, why was there a trace of blood on a trace of it on the body?
Well, let's go ahead and immediately turn this case into something interesting. I'm glad you asked. I'd like to present a spell that could have left a trace of necromancy on the body. That spell would be Mend Wounds.
Mend wounds? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that a healing spell?
That's correct, Your Honor. Spells from the School of Necromancy can control the forces of life and death. Mend Wound is in fact a necromancy spell.
Really now? I wasn't aware of this.
Now, I'd like the court to consider the following. What would happen if Bellwether was wounded and someone attempted to heal her using Mend Wounds? All of her wounds would disappear from her body.
I see. That does make sense.
Objection!
What do you got?
Do you think I'm that incompetent, Mr. Cuthbert? Frankly, I'm a little insulted.
What?
The Inquisition is well aware of what happens when a mage attempts to save a victim using Mend Wounds. The healers that arrived at the scene already confirmed that the victim was long dead. None of them attempted to heal her.
But what if someone tried to heal her and didn't report it?
Please, none of the healers would have anything to gain by doing so. In fact, as a necromancer, the defendant could have easily carried out the described scenario. He could have cast Mend Wounds on the victim after murdering her to confound the investigation.
At the end of the day, the burden of proof was on us. If I could prove someone else healed the body, I would sever the only thread linking Wallace to the murder. Whoever this healer was, Valentina definitely knew her. Your Honor, I will admit that I don't have any evidence to support my theory. However, I do believe that we can bring it to light. There may have been two people that witnessed someone cast magic on the body. Valentina and Valerie Ioannis, the sisters who discovered the body.
This is nonsense. We've already questioned the two witnesses extensively. If they had witnessed something like that, it would have come up in their testimony.
If that's true, then the courts have nothing to lose by hearing their testimonies.
Very well. If you're so confident, let's hear your testimony.
It seems the prosecution has no objections. If this line of questioning leads nowhere, however, I see no further reason to continue this trial.
Of course, Your Honor. This better work.
Oh crap, it's that guy from before. He's the necromancer's lawyer.
She just arrived at the stand. She was already stressed out. That would work in my favor.
Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. My name? Witness, there's no need to be nervous. We merely want to hear about what you saw on the day of the murder. Right, it's just that guy over there. Are you talking about Mr. Cuthbert? Did this man harass you, witness?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, he super harassed me.
Mr. Cuthbert, I would expect someone of your profession to behave more professionally.
I hear Celie snickering under her breath. You're enjoying this far too much. Anyways, please state your name and occupation for the court, Miss Ioannis.
Just calm down. You can't prove anything. My name is Valentina Ioannis. I'm the head chef at the Wyvern Guard Imperial Academy.
Really? And at such a young age?
As I recall, you were one of the witnesses who discovered the body. Apparently the defense finds your involvement suspect. Rest assured, Miss Ioannis. In this courtroom, you will be protected from Mr. Cuthbert's harassment. Now please testify to the court what happened that day. Yeah.
Alright. Come on, then.
I was walking with my sister in the West Wing when we noticed something in the nearby classroom. We looked over to see what it was. That's when we saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground. My sister tried her best to help her, but the professor had already lost a lot of blood. When my sister did that, I used an emergency communication device to call for help. But it was too late. By the time her bleeding stopped, she'd already lost too much blood. If your theory is true, that means she just lied in her testimony. She's holding something back.
She definitely saw more than she's letting on. I just need to prove that somehow.
Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination.
Alright, bring it. Let's go. Walking with my sister in the West Wing when we noticed something in a nearby classroom. Where were you two coming from?
We came from the kitchen. We were taking a break after the lunch rush.
The cafeteria was on the west side of the academy, so that made sense.
What'd you see in the classroom, Miss Giannis?
I didn't even read what it was. Did you notice anything else strange in the lecture hall?
Oh, there was that terrible smell. It was awful. I couldn't see because of how much I was tearing up.
Makes sense. Aside from Bellwether, that smell was the most notable thing in that room. It would have been hard to notice anything else. My sister tried her best to help her, but the professor had already lost a lot of blood. She tried to help her? Let's be honest, how exactly did your sister try to help Miss Bellwether?
What? I slipped up. Oh, my sister used first aid to try and stop the bleeding.
I see. Could you please add that detail to your testimony?
Yeah, sure.
She used first aid and applied pressure to her wound to stop the bleeding. Curious. Your sister knows how to use a first aid kit.
Yeah, it was covered in our training when we first started working there. With all the nobles around, I guess the headmaster wanted to make sure we were prepared.
While my sister did that, I used an emergency communication device to call for help. A device.
It's a communication device for use in an emergency.
No shit, Sherlock. I see. So who did you contact?
I wasn't sure, honestly. I hear a lot of people talking in the area. A particular device broadcasts to the headmaster's office in the City Watch barracks. I imagine that's why the headmaster was able to activate the lockdown so quickly.
I see. It was too late. By the time her bleeding stopped, she'd already lost too much blood. I see. It must have been a difficult experience for you, both of you.
It was especially hard, my sister. I think she blames herself for not being able to save her.
She seemed sincere when she said that. I didn't catch any dissonant thoughts with the eye either.
Honestly, your testimony makes a lot of sense. It's hard to figure out which parts she might be lying about.
There has to be a contradiction here somewhere.
Your theory is that Valentina saw someone use men wounds on Bellwether. She focused on the statements that describe how they both interacted with her.
She used first aid and applied pressure to her wound to stop the bleeding. No, that's not at all what happened. Not in any capacity, and I think that tells us something interesting about your sister, potentially. Something very, very interesting.
Objection!
Listen.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why are you looking at me like that?
Maybe I can elaborate, Miss Giannis. You weren't present in the gallery earlier, were you?
No, I was waiting in the lobby. They Steelwind told me to wait there.
I consider myself lucky. This wouldn't have been nearly as easy if Valentina had been my cross-examination... had seen my cross-examination of Orem. You see, Miss Giannis, one key element of this case is that the body didn't have any wounds on it.
Yeah, so...
So that begs the following question. How did Valerie apply first aid when there shouldn't have been any wounds on the body?
What? No, did I screw up? I saw that wound on her. What happened?
There's clearly something amiss here. I'm afraid I don't fully understand the implications of this. Are you accusing the witness of committing perjury, Mr. Cuthbert?
No. When someone lied, they kept it as close to the truth as possible, changing minute details. In her thoughts, Valentina said that she was sure she saw a wound on Bellwether. She also mentioned that Valerie was the one who tried to save the professor. I knew that someone had cast healing magic on the body. That was why the wounds had disappeared. If the wounds disappeared after the twins discovered the body, that can only mean one thing. No. The witness was lying, Your Honor, but not about everything. Valerie Eonis did try to save the victim's life by addressing her wounds. But she didn't use first aid. She used magic.
How did you figure it out?
Yep. You can use...
Objection!
I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but your theory is completely flawed.
How so, Steelwyn?
Well, it's quite simple. We've already verified that neither of these sisters is a mage.
What? How? Wait, how can you be so sure?
During the investigation, we had both the Eonis sisters attuned to a spell compendium. Standard procedure for the Inquisition when interviewing witnesses.
Then that means...
Neither the Eonis sisters could attune to a compendium. That's right. The Inquisition checked us both. We're not mages. That's close.
Was I wrong about Valerie being a mage? No. That couldn't be right. I know what it is.
How you figure it out?
Her thoughts said, how did he figure it out? That meant I was on the right track. Valerie had to be the mage I was looking for. Sleaze, is it possible for a mage to hold a spell compendium and avoid tuning to it?
No, it just needs to be on their person. When I was arrested, the Inquisition also made me attune to one of their spell compendiums. They were really careful to make sure that I did attune it correctly. There's no way a mage could avoid it with them watching you.
Right. Commander White may have been negligent sometimes, but even he wasn't that careless.
Now if you're done, I do believe you exhaust all your options.
Wait! I'm still not done cross-examining this witness!
What could you possibly hope to glean from her testimony?
Valentina was stressed out enough to see her thoughts, but I couldn't exactly say that I was planning to read her mind. And at this point, I felt that I was already testing the judge's patience. There's one key element of her testimony that the court is overlooking. I have a right as an attorney to complete my cross-examination.
Your Honor, the defense is clearly trying to buy time.
I might be compelled to agree with you. However, I also admit that there are some elements of the witness's testimony that are quite peculiar. I will allow the defense to continue their cross-examination.
That was close.
But know that this is your last chance, Mr. Cuthbert. If you produce nothing substantial with your questioning, I will pass my verdict.
Of course, Your Honor. Alright, it was all or nothing. If I couldn't find anything by reading her mind, this whole case was finished.
Witness, please give your testimony once more. How long does he plan to keep me here?
I know what's going on. It's something that only you two could do.
Like I said, my sister and I saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground. We rushed over to her. I was definitely surprised when I saw her like that. Now that you mention it, I don't know if I saw any wounds on her, but I definitely saw blood. I can't go back on that now. I just need to play dumb. My sister tried to save her, but she didn't use any magic. Valerie, you're too kind-hearted. We're not mages. Both of us held that book the knights gave us. I was caught off guard when they asked us. They almost found us out. The commander was watching us the whole time. He can confirm it. It's a good thing we're twins, or else that trick wouldn't have worked.
Bingo.
What are we gonna do? You have a pretty hard proof that Valerie isn't a mage.
Valerie is the mage we're looking for. I'm sure of it. I'm just not sure why they felt the need to lie to the Inquisition. And more importantly, how did they trick the Inquisition? No, I'm not letting you get away with that bullshit. Screw the extra dialogue. I want you exactly. Eye of Horus, guide my sight.
Objection!
Miss Eonis, your thoughts betray you.
What?
I found the thought. They must have done something to trick Orm, but what? It must have happened when he was interrogating them.
Orm collected their statements.
How are they holding up? I imagine they'd be rattled after discovering a body.
From what he said, they were extremely tense, but I suppose that's to be expected. He told me that they couldn't sit still. He found it difficult to take their statements because of that.
They couldn't sit still. That implied they were moving somehow. She also thought it was a good thing that they were twins. How did the twins trick the Inquisition? That means their so-called trick wouldn't have worked otherwise.
What if...
Valentina switched places with
Maybe.
Valerie. Of course, they switched places. Valentina attuned to the first spell compendium. Then she pretended to be Valerie to attune to the second one. They even wear the same uniform. No wonder Commander White couldn't tell the difference between them. Miss Giannis, there's something I want to confirm. During the investigation, both you and Valerie attuned to a spell compendium.
Yeah, that night watched us do it.
And how did he have you do this? Did you both attune to those compendiums at the same time? Or did you attune to one after another?
What? I fail to see how that makes any difference, Mr. Cuthbert.
Yes, I agree. The spell compendiums would work regardless of what order they went in.
You may not be aware of this, Your Honor, but Valentine and Valerie Giannis are identical twins, which means that their physical appearances are nearly identical to each other. They also work in the same kitchen, which means that they must have been wearing the same uniform during questioning. If Commander White didn't have time to tune them at the same time, what would stop the twins from switching places with each other?
Objection!
This is clearly nothing but baseless conjecture. Orm wouldn't fail at such a basic task.
Really, Prosecutor Steelwind? Do you find it hard to believe that Commander White would fail at a task like this?
Even so, the gift of magic is inherited through bloodlines. For a pair of genetically identical twins, it would be impossible for one twin to be a mage while the other is not.
Has that been proven, Steelwind? Because as far as I'm concerned, that is baseless conjecture.
Wait a minute, this is crazy. We didn't trick the Inquisition. I keep telling you, my sister and I aren't mages.
Then prove it, Miss Giannis. Bring in your sister and we'll have you attuned to 2 spell compendiums at the same time.
No.
Do it!
Order in the court! It's clear that we won't get anywhere unless we test the defense's theory. Bailiff, escort Valerie Giannis to the stand and bring 2 unattuned spell compendiums.
Let's get to this.
They both had their hands on the companions for the last 10 minutes. There's no way they can fake it in front of this many people.
Alright, it's the moment of truth. I can only hope that my theory is correct.
No, he seriously...
What is it, Prosecutor Steelwind?
Gotcha!
What I see is the commander seeking new employment in the near future. It appears the defense was correct. Valentina Ionis isn't a mage, but Valerie Ionis is. Haha! What's more, Valerie Ionis' compendium contains the Mend Wound spell, which makes the defense's theory entirely plausible. Please, just allow me to explain. We should allow you to explain what exactly. You're an unregistered mage, and you and your sister have made a mess of the investigation and this trial. I'll let you know what it's like, Lady Steelwind. What? Do you think we don't know who you are? You're not like us. You don't have to hide. But it's okay. This whole situation's gone out of hand. I didn't think hiding it would cause so much trouble, and I won't let someone go to prison because of me. Even if he is a necromancer. Please let me testify about what I saw. I'll tell you all about what really happened that day.
Your Honor, I believe we may all benefit from hearing Miss Giannis' testimony.
Very well, but understand that there will be repercussions for your actions, witness.
I know.
Alright, come on then.
My sister and I were walking the hallway from the kitchen to the west exit. That's when I suddenly spotted the professor lying in a pool of blood in a nearby classroom.
Question, if I look at the evidence now... It doesn't say it yet.
Valentina used the communication device to call for help while I tried to save her. I saw that she was bleeding, so I cast Mend Wounds on her to close her wounds. It was too late. I closed a hole in her chest, but she was already dead.
There we go! We've got a problem.
There was a hole in the chest.
Your Honor, as you can clearly see from the witness's testimony, the trace of necromancy was left by the witness, not my client. What's more, it's clear that there was a physical wound on the body.
I see. Well...
His words trailed off. He clearly didn't want to pass a verdict with no clear culprit. But he had no choice. The case against Wallace was predicated on Bellwether being killed by necrotic blight. With Valerie's testimony, the prosecution didn't have a shred of evidence implicating him.
Very well, the court sees no reason to prolong this trial. With these new developments, the court has no choice but to find Wallace Nightgrip...
Ah, damn it. What now?
I believe the court is ignoring one key detail of the witness's testimony.
And what would that be, Miss Steelwind?
Let's re-examine the witness's testimony. Barry used the communication device to call for help while I tried to save her. I saw that she was bleeding, so I cast Mend Wounds on her close to her wounds. But it was too late. I closed the hole in her chest, but she was already dead. The communication device that Antonianus used logs of the time of day during each day, each use. From this log, we know that Valentina used this device at 3:04 p.m. This was an hour after the time of death.
Where are you going with this?
Mr. Cuthbert, there's a witness who saw the victim before the body was found, Jan Hughes. He, along with another witness, spotted Bellwether walking in the hallways before the body was found.
Those gleam halls. Bellwether knocked over a vase. There were shards and dirt everywhere.
Wait, you saw the professor before the twins arrived?
Yeah, like I said, she broke the vase right in the hallway. It was probably 23 minutes before the twins found the body.
23 minutes before the body was found. Do you see the discrepancy, Mr. Cuthbert?
Wait, that couldn't be right. Bellwether died more than an hour before the body was found. So how did Jan see her half an hour after her death?
I wonder, Mr. Cuthbert. How could one make a dead body move and walk around?
No.
We didn't just arrest the defendant based on those traces of necromancy. We arrested him because only one person at school could have animated her corpse.
An undead created within the Imperial Academy! How reprehensible.
Objection!
No. That's ridiculous. She had a hole in her chest when the twins found her. Jan Hughes would have noticed that.
Enemy corpse stops the flow of blood, so she wouldn't have attracted blood anywhere. The defendant is also proficient with illusion magic. He could have easily used an illusion spell to hide the undead Bellwether's wounds.
But another party could have easily used illusion magic to disguise themselves as a victim.
If that were true, how did they move the body to the classroom?
Miss Steelwyn, if your theory is true, it would mean that the murder occurred elsewhere. Would the Inquisition happen to know where?
Regrettably, we do not.
The prosecution's case against my client is still faulty. You can't convict my client without more evidence.
I must agree with Mr. Cuthbert. With these new developments, the court sees it fit to suspend the trial for the time being. We will give the Inquisition time to investigate these unknowns. Court proceedings for this case will resume tomorrow morning. Court is adjourned.
Alright, we at least bought a lot of time.
Hey, are you feeling okay?
A body was seen moving around an hour after death. Great. It clearly wasn't Bellwether. Or at the very least, she wasn't alive when Jan ran into her. So what was it?
Tyrion?
Steelman was right about one thing. There was illusion magic involved. We already know that because the body has traces of illusion magic on it. Here's the problem, though. Something doesn't add up here. Which spell was it? Could have been an illusory disguise?
Tyrion!
What?
You've been pacing around the lobby since the trial ended.
Sorry, I was just thinking about Steelman's theory.
It's a little creepy when you think about it. Do you really think someone turned the professor into an undead?
It's not impossible. Animate Corpse could have entirely been used. Reanimates the target using life energy, creating an undead minion for the duration. The minion follows the caster's orders, but its intelligence is limited and cannot speak. Oh, wait, no, it couldn't have been used. No, it couldn't possibly have been used. Jan stated that 30 minutes before the Eos twins found the body, Bellwether walked past Jan in the West Wing hallway. He was in her path, so she shoved him out of her way. After that, she knocked over the vase and shouted. Even though Jan didn't say anything to her, she yelled at him to be quiet. Animate Corpse states that the minion follows the caster's orders, but its intelligence is limited and it cannot speak. That couldn't have been impossible then. That wasn't Bellwether then, I don't think. That was somebody disguised as Bellwether, I think. Because Bellwether's... assuming that was Bellwether's body, like, the prosecution's trying to push that it was Bellwether's body being reanimated that pushed him. But that's not possible. Animate Corpse cannot allow for any speaking, and Jan said he clearly heard Bellwether say, "Be quiet." So that couldn't have been in a corpse. Either that was the real Bellwether, or more likely, somebody was disguising as Bellwether.
You really think someone turned the professor into an undead?
I don't think so. The prosecution's case is hinged on one key point, that Wallace was the only high-level necromancer nearby. We have to assume that he's the only person capable of using that type of magic.
Then how is he walking around?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's a given that Wallace didn't animate the body. No matter what they did, someone had to have used an illusion.
Aren't there any spells that can create freestanding illusions, not just disguises?
Wait! Wait. Arcane constructs. Arcane constructs are suits of armor that are animated using artificery. They can carry out simple tasks when ordered to. The ones in the Imperial Army Academy speak using the voice of Catherine Bellwether. These voice lines can only be changed or adjusted by the Academy headmaster. Every command and given to a construct is stored in its command log. However, this command log must be cleared regularly. Illusory disguise. Places an illusion on a target, completely change their visual appearance. The disguise moves with the target for the duration. It can make a target look 1 foot larger or smaller. Elements hidden by the spell are made invisible. Elements created are visual. Was it a suit of armor? Was it a construct? I don't think that was actually her. It was a construct, I think. If it was a construct, then it would... It's not impossible for it to have been a construct that... If it was a construct that was disguised, then it would have been able to say, be quiet. There's something I'm missing. I honestly don't know. We need to talk to someone who knows about that type of magic. Didn't Eris say she was studying illusion magic? She might be able to give us the lead. I don't want to talk to Eris again. Last time I talked to her, everyone started, like, changing their words.
Is that really a good idea?
What do you mean?
What if she's the one who created the illusion?
I was detecting fear from her again. Do you think she's the killer? At this point, could be. I don't know who the killer is at this point. But I think it's got to be either one of the twin. It's got to be either the twins, or maybe it could even be Eris. Sleaze, are you afraid of Eris?
What? No.
I saw it this morning too. You always get really anxious whenever she's around.
Oh, I didn't mean to be so obvious about it.
What's wrong?
Sorry, it's not based on anything real, but... How do I explain this?
Wait, has she seen the same things that we the player have seen?
You already know that I was working as a mercenary before this? When you do that kind of work, you build up an instinct to sense danger. You kind of have to if you want to stay alive.
Sorry, I never knew.
Tyrion, I fought little monsters and barely escaped in my life. When I'm near Eris, none of those creatures come even close. I get this feeling. It's like in front of a predator that I can't ever hope to beat. Every instinct I have tells me to run whenever she's close by.
Really? But she doesn't seem that dangerous, just a little mischievous.
I know. I think maybe I'm just being anxious or something. I should know better than anyone not to judge people by how they look. Sorry, forget I said anything.
No, I trust your instincts.
If you think we should talk to her, then we should do that.
Sleaze's instincts have never steered me wrong before. She'd always been reliable, and if Eris was making her feel this way, that must have meant something. Could all the glitches that we've been experiencing as the player be illusions? It would certainly add up, but that's all the more reason for us to talk to her. But aside from that, there was also something else that the prosecutor said.
Mr. Cuthbert, there was a witness who saw the victim before the body was found, Jan Hughes. He, along with another witness, spotted Bellwether walking in the hallways before the body was found.
There was another witness who saw Bellwether walking around.
Right. Jan probably is the most reliable witness.
He was probably only half awake when he saw her.
But do you think Steelwind will tell us who that witness was?
We still have to deal with her. We still have that deal with her. We won't lose anything by asking.
Honestly, that's still bothering me.
What is?
Why was she so interested in who my biological parents are?
It's none of her business.
That was strange. She traded information about the investigation for it, too. Maybe she thinks you're her long-lost sister.
Oh, I never even thought of that. I don't know. Wouldn't that mean I'm the daughter of Lucio Steelwin? I think my dad would have thrown a fit if he ever heard that.
You are pretty good at fighting.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Damn.
I guess I like Arya, and I've always wished I had a sister. I don't want to think about this now.
Maybe you can ask her when you're at that brunch you strong-armed her into.
Oh, I almost forgot. I can't believe I'm going to meet Althera's Duskweaver.
Anyway, we still had a long investigation ahead of us. And we need to start by talking to Steelwind about that witness. This is a very interesting case.
Hal, you're back! Here's a produce for tonight's dinner. The grocer all said someone already collected the deliveries. Do you think someone stole them? I bet word about the trial's gone out already. They're definitely not going to sell to us anymore.
Whoopsie daisy. Oh, it's a good thing it wasn't anything useful.
That dumb attorney just had to go and ruin everything. I don't know. I was watching the trial. Do you really think that boy killed Catherine? Of course he did. He's a necromancer, for crying out loud. If what they said was true, I'm one too. You know, that's not the same thing. You only use healing magic. Come on, help me prep some of the leftover meat. I bet we can still make some soup out of it. I hate this. Yeah, I know. The students are totally going to complain about it. No. I hate magic. Sure, whatever, Val. What?
Huh?
Tyrion, what are we doing here?
What are we doing here? I'm not sure. For some reason, I felt drawn to this place. I was supposed to make my way back to the academy, but I suddenly found myself here. It was strange, but I couldn't even remember how we arrived.
Wait, is that Eris?
Celeste pointed further into the cemetery. Eris standing there in front of a gravestone. I'm scared of her. Why are we here? She's placing flowers on it and appeared to be chanting a short prayer.
Well, we found her.
We should probably talk to her later. It would be rude to disturb her now. No, get away from me. I don't like you. As we were about to leave, Eris suddenly turned to face us. She was far away, but she'd already noticed us and was beckoning us over. I don't trust you.
Oh, hello there. Were you two looking for me?
Sorry, we were looking for you, but we understand if you'd rather talk later.
No, I was just finishing up here. Do you have something you want to talk to me about?
Well, we wanted to ask you some questions about the case. I don't trust you. Get me out of here. No. I'm afraid. Attorney's runestone.
You're showing me the badge now?
Badge is an attorney's runestone. Aren't you saying the same thing earlier? What do you think? Okay. This lady scares me. I think, now I'm starting to think she is the killer. I'm really starting to believe she's the murderer now. There's a grave for an individual I didn't know. Out of respect, it'd be best to leave it undisturbed. There's a grave that Eris was attending to earlier. The name on the stone said Emily Grant, and her lifetime appears to be awfully short. She must have been only 12 years old when she died.
Repairing Arcanum.
Nothing of intrigue. The trial.
That's my first time watching a court trial. You're truly remarkable.
Thank you. Were you in the gallery?
I always enjoyed watching physical battles in the theater. But I see now that battles of wits can be just as entertaining to watch.
Entertaining?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You see the odds are stacked against him, but he suddenly pulls out this crazy deduction that takes the whole trial back.
I've never really thought of it like that.
I'm sure it's far more entertaining to be the one making the deductions.
I'm not really sure what you mean. I practice law so that I can help those persecuted by the justice system. I don't really do it to entertain myself.
Is that really true? Don't you find the experience even the least bit entertaining, Tyrion?
I wouldn't really put it that way.
You're far too modest. You save people from the clutches of death. To your clients, you might as well be a knight in shining armor.
Illusion magic. Earlier you said that you were studying illusion magic.
I am. Did you want to ask me about the prosecution's theory?
Yes, actually. How did you know?
Disguising an undead with an illusion is definitely possible. As Lady Steele once said, illusory disguise would be the best spell to use for it.
What if someone created a freestanding illusion? We know that walls didn't animate and disguise the professor's corpse. So what if the illusion didn't disguise anything? Maybe someone created a freestanding illusion of Bellwether walking around.
For something like that, one would probably use major illusion.
Major illusion. Illusion, Miluso, no gesture, happens while concentrating, and it requires concentration. Creates a three-dimensional illusion. The illusion can take the form of any object or creature that can be contained in a 10-foot cube. While concentrating, the caster can animate and move the image to a different location within range. The illusion is purely visual and can't be physically touched. This wouldn't work either, though, because it was physical what we saw. It couldn't possibly be major illusion, because Jan said he felt being pushed. So it wasn't fake. Major illusion.
What is it?
I don't think major illusion is what we're looking for. Do you remember what Jan said?
It was clearing a mess in the hallways. Bellwether knocked over a vase and there were shards of dirt everywhere.
If the bellwether that Jan saw was a major illusion, then she couldn't have knocked over the vase. Illusions created by that spell don't have any mass.
I see. How perceptive of you.
Are there any other illusions spells that have mass?
No. All known illusion spells in Wyverngard can only create visual and auditory illusion as sensations. None of those spells can create something that someone can touch.
Does that mean someone disguised something to make it look like Bellwether?
By the look of suspicion, at least.
Sorry, I wasn't...
Calm yourself. I was only joking. I don't blame you for considering every possibility. In fact, I'm flattered you think I'm capable of pulling off such an elaborate ruse.
Anyway, this does tell us one important thing.
What's that?
The bellwether that Jan saw had a physical mass to it. It wasn't a freestanding illusion, it was someone disguised as her. I don't think it was someone, it was something. It had to have been a construct. It would fit perfectly. It would even be able to say her name. The bellwether witnessed by Jan Hughes must have been disguised with an illusion. In addition to that, whoever he saw that day was physically there. Gravestone.
It's quite a shame, isn't it?
Eris looked pensively towards the gravestone. The name on the stone said Emily Grant, and her lifetime appeared to have been awfully short. She must have been only 12 years old when she died. Sorry for interrupting you. Was she someone you knew?
I'm actually here on Wallace's behalf.
Wallace knew her?
Wallace joined the Academy as part of a program run by Headmaster Redmond. At the time, the headmaster was reaching out to mages among the common folk. He had started a program to admit them to the Academy through the scholarship program. Both Emily and Wallace were among those mages.
This is why he's studying necromancy.
Wow, it must have been an amazing opportunity for them.
The truth is, neither of them actually cared about learning magic. The real problem was that Emily had a deadly illness. She and Wallace were poor orphans, and they obviously didn't have the resources to treat it. But if they enrolled in the Academy...
The Academy would be obligated to give her medical treatment.
The Imperial Academy teaches the best mages in the kingdom. They thought that curing her illness would be an easy task for the Academy's healers. But they were mistaken, I'm afraid. I'm sure you know this by now, but healing spells can only treat wounds. They can't cure illness. Emily's condition only got worse over the years, and eventually she succumbed to her illness. Wallace was furious. He didn't understand why the kingdom was outlawing magic that could save lives.
And that's why he decided to learn it himself.
Yes, the headmaster was inspired by Wallace's resolve. He gave him access to the Academy's forbidden tomes of necromancy. And with the headmaster's guidance, Wallace learned the spells that he knows today. So that's why.
He only wanted to, basically, he wanted to make it so that no one had to suffer like his friend again.
It was supposed to stay a secret between him and the headmaster. But I'm sure.
Stop doing that! Stop doing that! I don't like that! Stop that! No! Bad! Bad, Eris. Now I'm fully convinced it's you.
I'm sure you know how that turned out.
Stop doing that, you son of a bitch. I don't like you. Leave me alone. Go back to the foyer. Hey, it's you. Is there anything new for detect magic? New. There's still a lot we don't know.
Yeah, we know that Wallace didn't kill her, but did the true killer really murder her in the library?
Right, you'll need to go there to find out more.
Where should we go next?
Prosecution believes that Wallace killed Bellwether in the library. We didn't really investigate that room the first time around. We might be able to find some new leads there. You know what? I think here is a good spot to end for— Hey! I see you there! I just now noticed you're in the save area. I don't trust you. Why are you there? Anyways, let's save the game and go ahead and end it here for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed and hope to see you all later. Peace.